dark and mysterious world of the missing and murder. You seek the answers, but you never know what you'll find last. When you rewind, this is the True Crime Rewind podcast. This is the True Crime Rewind podcast.
Juveniles collecting
13-year-old Abigail Abby Williams
at the High Bridge in Delphi, Indiana,
and 14-year-old Liberty Libby German.
All Delphi fire units requested to be en route to the station to help with the search party.
Last seen on an abandoned railroad trestle.
Prison transfers, violent altercations, and digital footprints, the Delphi case just took a dramatic turn that reveals how law enforcement might be orchestrating an elaborate chess game behind bars to make someone finally talk. What's going on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, or wherever you're watching from? This is True Crime Rewind, an investigation unsolved. Tonight, we dive deep into the tangled web surrounding the Delphi case, prison transfers, violent altercations, and the chilling connections between key players like Richard Allen, Keegan Kline, James Bryan Chadwell II, and Ron Logan. The pieces are coming together, and the question remains, are authorities setting the stage for someone to finally talk? Stay tuned as we break it all down. It's a high-stakes chess game behind bars. Richard Allen, the accused Delphi killer, was shuffled between facilities from Westville to Wabash Valley, where he ended up housed with Keegan Kline and James Bryan Chadwell II. Kline, the man behind the infamous Anthony Shots profile, met Chadwell in Wabash Valley even before Allen's arrival. Then, Kline was moved to New Castle, a facility that once held Ron Logan. Although Logan never faced charges related to the murders and eventually passed away in 2022, his name remains entwined with this case. Before we go further, we need you to weigh in. Vote now. Who do you think had the violent showdown behind bars? Who kicked whose ass? Option 1, Kline and Logan. Option 2, Kline and Davis. Option 3, Logan and Davis. Option 4, Chadwell and Kline. Today I'm joined by a Miami County Corrections Officer at the Bunker Hill Prison, David Castlemeer. David, you have been around inmates all your life. What can you make of this? First, give us some additional character info on who you are and what you do and specialize in.
Thanks for having me on the show, Anthony. I'm David Castlemeer, and I've been around inmates all my life. I started my career in law enforcement as a police officer and later served in the military police, where I learned a great deal about discipline and procedure. I eventually moved into corrections, working at the Miami County Jail during some pretty challenging times, including during Kline's incarceration. I'm in my 60s now, and after retiring from full-time duty, I couldn't stay away from the action. My wife, she's got a taste for the finer things in life, nudged me to pick up a post-retirement job at Bunker Hill Prison, and here I am, still in the thick of it. Over the years, I've received extensive training in inmate management, conflict resolution, and crisis intervention, which has given me a unique perspective on the dynamics inside our facilities. My background in both police work and military service taught me how to handle high-pressure situations, and that's something that's really come in handy in corrections. I've seen firsthand how these men interact, and while some stay quiet, others speak volumes, even if it's just behind these walls during our visits or phone calls. I've watched the evolution of these inmates over the years, and each case leaves its own mark on you. It's a tough job, but it's given me insights into human behavior and the dark corners of our criminal justice system that most never see. Let me tell you what really stands out about this situation. We've got these seemingly random characters who are actually deeply connected. Richard Allen, Keegan Kline, James Bryan Chadwell II, and Ron Logan. all intertwined in ways that seem far too deliberate to be coincidental.
Speaking of those connections, the prison transfer strategy is fascinating. Richard Allen gets moved from Westville to Wabash Valley, where, and this is key, both Keegan Kline and James Bryan Chadwell II were already housed. The timing couldn't be more strategic.
You know what makes this even more intriguing? The violent confrontation that happened before Allen even arrived.
Right, let's talk about that fight between Chadwell and Kline. What started as a dispute over just $12 worth of commissary items escalated into Chadwell breaking Kline's nose. Apparently, Chadwell was disgusted by Kline's alleged crimes.
The whole hierarchy of morality among inmates is fascinating, isn't it? Even behind bars, there are lines that some won't cross.
And here's where it gets really interesting, the digital footprint of this case. The Anthony Shots profile wasn't just being used by one person. Multiple people had access to this account, including Kline's own father. We're potentially looking at an organized network of predators.
That level of coordination suggests something much more sophisticated than what we initially thought, doesn't it?
Exactly, and when you look at the sequence of events, Kline's brief release into state custody, followed by that targeted search along the Wabash River, then Richard Allen's arrest, and suddenly some of Kline's charges getting dropped, it all points to a carefully orchestrated strategy.
Let me bring up something else that's significant. The Ron-Logan connection. The victims were found on his property, and even though he was never charged and passed away in 2022, his name keeps coming up.
The Logan aspect is crucial because it shows how these seemingly separate threads keep intersecting. We've got Richie Davis making false claims about Logan confessing, while Kline denies ever meeting Davis. It's like watching a complex dance where everyone's trying to protect their own interests.
Speaking of protecting interests, what do you make of the stark contrast between how these suspects behave in public versus behind bars?
That's one of the most telling aspects of this case. Take Richard Allen, completely silent in public, but reports suggest he's quite vocal during visits and behind prison walls. It's like we're dealing with two different versions of each suspect.
The pressure of these strategic prison placements must be intense.
Absolutely, and I think that's exactly what law enforcement is counting on. By putting these key players in proximity to each other, they're creating situations where someone might crack. That fight over $12, that's just a symptom of the pressure cooker environment they've created.
Let me play devil's advocate for a moment. Couldn't this strategy backfire if suspects start coordinating their stories?
That's a valid concern, but what we're seeing suggests the opposite. These confrontations and the strategic dropping of charges indicate that law enforcement is betting on these tensions, leading to someone breaking ranks. And with the digital evidence they've gathered, they probably already know who's lying and who's telling the truth.
The complexity of this digital evidence is really unprecedented, isn't it?
It truly is, and that's what makes this case so unique. We're not just dealing with physical evidence anymore. The virtual connections between these individuals might actually be more important than their physical interactions. The deleted chat logs, failed polygraph tests, and multiple users of the Anthony Shots account all point to something much bigger. Now let's get back to the poll results. In a recent conversation, Chadwell revealed his explosive encounter with Keegan Kline. While they were housed together in Wabash Valley, a dispute over a $12 commissary debt quickly escalated into a brutal brawl prior to Richard Allen's arrival. Chadwell, disgusted by Kline's connection to heinous crimes, ended up breaking Kline's nose.
The votes are in. The truth is revealed. Chadwell and Kline are the ones who clashed, proving that sometimes the smallest trigger can lead to explosive consequences. As investigations continue and new evidence emerges, new voices may soon break the silence. Voices that could expose a much larger predator network. Stay tuned, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. So Greeno, what do you think happens next in this elaborate chess game?
I knew you'd ask that, David. Well, with all these pieces in play, these strategic prison transfers, the dropped charges, the mounting pressure, I think we're approaching a critical moment. Someone's going to talk, and when they do, I suspect we'll finally understand the full scope of this network and exactly what happened in the Delphi case. The question isn't if anymore, it's when. Thanks for joining me, David, and until next time, thanks for listening to the True Crime Rewind podcast, Greeno, alongside Miami Correctional Officer David Castlemeer.
For 8 years, I have listened to that Bridge Guy audio clip. For over 8 years, I have stared at that grainy photograph, which eventually became video. And for 8 years, I've had questions unanswered. The questions that come to me in my dreams. But these dreams haunt me while I'm awake, asleep. They are the nightmares in my dreams, and they are the nightmares in my mind. They are the nightmares in my mind.
Down the hill. Slow steps on the rickety high bridge. Shadows stretch where the cold winds ridge. A whisper lingers heavy with dread. A ghost unseen, but his words are bread. He's hiding in plain sight, watching, waiting, a flicker in the dark, the fear suffocating.
Today, we're going to break down the Bridge Guy video, enhanced and unenhanced. Find out how the investigation was proven to be spot on. What's going on, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, or wherever the hell you're watching from? I'm Anthony Greeno. Welcome to True Crime Investigates. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most infamous true crime cases of our time, the Delphi murders. The Bridge Guy video holds secrets, and over the years, myself and my late friend, Michael J. Catt, and countless researchers have dedicated our time to understanding every detail. But just how did we get here? And why has the analysis of the crime been so eerily accurate and caused so much speculation and lies?
He took a public stance for victims' rights, advocating for legislative change. As a Republican Party member of Carroll County, Greeno has worked to spread awareness on Senate Bill 177, using donations from fans to build a network within the true crime community. Even celebrities took notice, joining live discussions and debates. Controversial? Yes. But when true crime experts ask for Greeno's opinion, that's a level of respect that speaks for itself. And many have said,
if there's anyone who truly understands this case, it's Anthony Greeno.
Buckle in, because right now we're about to uncover the truth. From the very start, my dedication to this case was unwavering. I knew that to understand what happened that day, we needed to walk in the footsteps of the victim and the suspect. So Michael Catt and myself set out to the Monon High Bridge, filming detailed reenactments and comparing the release photos and footage to reality.
Randy Gravitt also played a critical role in challenging narratives and uncovering inconsistencies. His deep dives into the case pushed for a re-examination of certain details law enforcement seemed hesitant to address.
We studied his gait, his posture, his clothing, We questioned. Was he carrying a weapon? Was he concealing something? Every movement mattered. This wasn't just a theory. This was boots-on-the-ground investigative work. I've listened to that voice in my nightmares. Is that a hat or hair? A fanny pack? Maybe his hoodie. I've stared at that picture for over 8 years. Is that a gun in his pocket? In my nightmares. Does he have facial hair? How old does this man appear? Picture for over 8 years. I've listened to that voice in my nightmares for 8 years. Who could it be? A family member? A friend? A cop? I've come too far to give up now. There's a story to be told. And tonight, we're releasing it all.
The judge ain't got shit on me. The final boss in this game you can't beat.
Justice nailed you with my motions filed, on the record stamped and sealed. The courtroom is your home turf, but no injustice is what makes me superb. Dab, ba-da-ba-ba-dee, bobby biddy, and I say, oh, I'm the green. I'm just the final boss. Old Franny Fran can get tossed for hitting me with the gavel. She's gonna shit when she sees I went from being the gravel king and joined the team of unraveling. Together we can't be stopped, and I'm back to my old self. This like digital code, Mothman and Greeno. From dusk till dawn, I'm in beast mode, unraveling. The final boss.
Hosting and welcoming everyone to the memorial walks in memory of the girls. Which reminds me to remind you that Saturday, April 5th, 2025 is an event that began in 2018 and is now a tradition. Listen up, all you Delphi fanatics. This is your opportunity to participate in the remembrance of Abby and Libby on Saturday, April 5th, 2025. Accept this invitation, claim your spot, and be sure to contact us ahead of time if you would like to volunteer in assisting with organization, safety, public speaking, have media request for broadcasting the event, and or just someone who wants to help fund some of the things we may include. We want to make this the best event it could ever be. This time, we are doing this for you to learn, share your experience, and meet your favorite and or not so favorite creators. Click the link and confirm attendance on Facebook.
This is also a creator fan meet and greet. Meet popular true crime personalities like Frank Meister, Randy Gravitt, Marv, Anthony Greeno, and several more.
So, schedule it now. April 5th, 2025 at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Help us lay the stamp on the conviction.
Make plans now.
Book your trip.
Come spend some time with us
in Delphi,
where we march to show we care.
We will not forget.
And we will always
be a voice for the victims of unsolved crimes. So I hope to see you there.
For the biggest true crime gathering,
where guest speakers will attend.
Educational information will be distributed.
Don't miss out on the event.
The 6th Annual Abby and Libby Memorial Walk 2025.
Stay updated with the community posts for updates.
And while you're at it,
click like on the True Crime Rewind podcast.
Now on Facebook,
Apple,
or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Today's poll.
Should cops have released the full BG video in the beginning?
Take the poll now.
Call in using the StreamYard link.
Voice your opinion, and if you are on the replay crew,
comment below what you think.
This poll closes in 1 hour.
But first, we take you back into the Delphi murders. This time, we're talking about the Bridge Guy video has been released, and the Loganites and the Odinites, led by the book bitch Barb, who wrote a story about how Ron Logan was the killer, and then cops debunked that book with the arrest and conviction of Richard Allen. Many speculated about a glitch within the video, where something blocks the screen. Some claimed it was Abby's shirt, but after careful examination, I can confirm That is incorrect. What you're seeing is actually the phone being turned sideways at this timestamp, when Libby's sweater crosses in between the camera and the bridge guy, also known as Richard Allen. It causes a section that suddenly glitches into a black screen. That moment is right here. This is the edited and stabilized video released by law enforcement. That is the glitch. And this is the original video, and this is the exact same timestamp as the edited version, meaning the small clip that we have seen for the last 8 years was taken from this section of the 43-second video. All of that happens right here.
Intro. What's up, everyone? I'm Anthony Greeno, and today we're diving deep into one of the most infamous true crime cases of our time, the Delphi murders. More specifically, we're breaking down the Bridge Guy video and how my investigation into this case lined up so closely with the state's timeline. How did I come to these conclusions? What did I see in that video that many others missed? And why has my accuracy in this case stirred up controversy? Let's get into it. Section 1. Background on the case and Bridge Guy video. If you're new here, let me bring you up to speed. On February 13th, 2017, 2 young girls, Abby Williams and Libby German, were murdered in Delphi, Indiana. The case shook the entire nation, and at the heart of the investigation was a grainy video taken by Libby herself, a short clip showing a man walking on the Monon High Bridge. This individual, known as Bridge Guy, has been the subject of intense scrutiny and speculation ever since. I was one of the first YouTubers to cover this case, back when there were hardly any discussions about it on social media. Myself and my best friend, Michael J. Catt, founded WKAT Media, an outlaw news agency dedicated to uncovering the truth. We took it upon ourselves to dig deeper into the case, analyzing everything we could find, and let me tell you, our research took us into some dark places. Section 2, how I analyzed the Bridge Guy video. Now, let's break down how I analyzed this infamous footage. In my video, Monon High Bridge Analysis and Conclusions, watch here, I talked in depth about what stood out to me. Gait and posture, 00:15:30 to 00:45:00. The way Bridge Guy walked was unique. His posture, the way his legs moved, it suggested he might have had an injury or was concealing something under his jacket. Clothing and hidden details. The baggy clothing he wore seemed intentional, possibly to obscure his build. Some speculated he was holding something in his right pocket, and we examined that closely. Possible audio enhancements. I attempted to clean up the audio from the clip and match it to other known suspects' voices, comparing the infamous Guy's "down the hill" command. Then, in another video, Delphi Murders Defense Strategy, the White Van Timeline. Watch here, I covered the timing of events 00:20:00 to 00:50:00. The timeline I developed matched eerily close to the state's final version. Witness sightings and road activity. I tracked possible escape routes and vehicles reported near the crime scene that day. All of these details painted a picture that wasn't just speculation, it was investigative journalism at its finest. Section 3. The accuracy of my investigation. Here's where things get interesting. My timeline, my entire breakdown, almost exactly mirrored the official investigation. This wasn't luck, this was research. And yet, when I made my return to YouTube in 2023, I found myself at the center of controversy. Some people, particularly internet haters, even started questioning whether I was somehow involved in the murders. Let's be clear, that's absolute nonsense. But it does raise a question. Why was my investigation so on point? The answer is simple. I lived in Carroll County. I knew the area. I understood the politics and corruption that had been woven into this case since day one. My approach wasn't about chasing clicks. It was about uncovering the truth. Section 4. Challenges and controversies. Look, covering a case like this isn't easy. When Michael Catt and I started this journey, we had no idea how deep the corruption ran in Carroll County. We met back in the old Carroll County Jail during the Randall era, a time when corruption was rampant. That's where we built our friendship, inside B-Pod, Cell 1. Loyalty, respect, honesty, and integrity were the foundation of our work. After Kat's death in 2021, things got harder. I was in and out of jail, losing everything I had, while trolls on the internet tried to discredit me at every turn. But in 2023, I made my comeback. And now, I'm here to set the record straight. Section 5, Legacy and Impact. So, what's the takeaway from all this? Independent investigators, citizen journalists. We play a role in bringing justice to cases like this. The mainstream media, they push narratives. The government, well, let's just say they have their own interests. But people like me, people like Michael Catt before he passed, and those of you out there who care about the truth, we're the ones keeping the pressure on. We're the ones who won't let this case get buried. If you found this breakdown insightful, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video. The fight for justice in the Delphi case isn't over, and together we can make sure the truth comes to light. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and keep questioning everything.
Because in a world filled with crime, chaos, and confusion, the truth is out there. Somewhere.
Creeping slow where the black river winds. A gun in his grip, sin in his mind. The night swallows screams no one will hear. His echo remains frozen in fear. He's lurking, he's waiting, he blends with the night. The only witness locked in his sight. Still calls when the midnight is still. His presence a sickness, a cold creeping chill. Run if you want, but he's already there. A ghost in the silence, a breath in the air. The nightmare in my mind, down the hill. The last thing you hear, the sound that chills. He's hiding in plain
Prison
sight.
transfers, violent altercations, and digital footprints. The Delphi case just took a dramatic turn that reveals how law enforcement might be orchestrating an elaborate chess game behind bars.
So my belief is they do have the right guy. Do I feel like there were mistakes made within the investigation? Yes. Do I feel like that everyone did the best they could with the resources they had and the knowledge they had? Yes.
And finally, talk. What's going on? YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, or wherever you're watching from, this is True Crime Rewind, an investigation unsolved. Tonight, we dive deep into the tangled web surrounding the Delphi case, prison transfers, violent altercations, and the chilling connections between key players like Richard Allen, Keegan Kline, James Bryan Chadwell II, and Ron Logan. We're not just dealing with physical evidence anymore. The virtual connections between these individuals might actually be more important than their physical interactions. The deleted chat logs, failed polygraph tests, and multiple users of the Anthony shots account all point to something much bigger. Now let's get back to the poll results. In a recent conversation, Chadwell revealed his explosive encounter with Keegan Kline. While they were housed together in Wabash Valley, a dispute over a $12 commissary debt quickly escalated into a brutal brawl prior to Richard Allen's arrival. Chadwell, disgusted by Kline's connection to heinous crimes, ended up breaking Kline's nose.
The votes are in. The truth is revealed. Chadwell and Kline are the ones who clashed. proving that sometimes the smallest trigger can lead to explosive consequences. As investigations continue and new evidence emerges, new voices may soon break the silence, voices that could expose a much larger predator network. Stay tuned, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. So Greeno, what do you think happens next in this elaborate chess game?
I knew you'd ask that, David. Well, with all these pieces in play, these strategic prison transfers, the dropped charges, the mounting pressure, I think we're approaching a critical moment. Someone's going to talk, and when they do, I suspect we'll finally understand the full scope of this network and exactly what happened in the Delphi case. The question isn't if anymore, it's when. Thanks for joining me, David, and until next time, thanks for listening to the True Crime Rewind podcast. The question isn't if anymore, it's when. Thanks for joining me, David, and until next time, thanks for listening to the True Crime Rewind podcast. I'm Anthony Greeno, alongside Miami Correctional Officer David Castlemeer. Stay safe, everyone.
Vel King crown boots on the ground, built for this Indiana sunrise, painting gold on the fields. Got that working man hustle, stacking up my next meal. Grain silos in my shadows, dip a skyline, no. Taking back roads, only never follow the flow. I don't need the city lights, I make my own shine. With a shotgun and a cooler, this kingdom's all mine. I'm the gravel king, ruler of these lanes. Built from the dust, blood runs through my veins. Backwoods bred, I don't need no crown. Riding these roads till the sun goes down. Indiana summers, sweat dripping off my brow. From the barn to the fire pit, living in the now. John Deere humming, keep the rhythm alive. These small town dreams that keep my soul revived. Turn the wheel left, let the gravel spit flames. Living life loud, man, I'm changing the game. Cornfield corridors, I run them like tracks. Chasing that freedom, never looking back. I'm the gravel king, ruler of these lanes. Built from the dust, blood runs through my veins. Backwoods bred, I don't need no crown. Riding these roads till the sun goes down. Indiana summers, sweat dripping off my brow. From the barn to the fire pit, living in the now. John Deere humming, keep the rhythm alive. These small town dreams, they keep my soul revived. Turn the wheel left, let the gravel spit flames. Living life loud, man, I'm changing the game. Cornfield corridors, I run them like tracks. Chasing that freedom, never looking back. I'm the gravel king, ruler of these lanes. Built from the dust, blood runs through my veins. Backwoods bred, I don't need no crown. Riding these roads till the sun goes down.
The Prison Line Conspiracy.
It's a cold, restless night in Anthony Greeno's sparse, dimly lit office, a place where every ring of a phone could mean the next piece of a dangerous puzzle falling into place. On his cluttered desk, 4 separate phone lines glow, each representing a man with a story that might shatter or solidify the twisted narrative of the Delphi murders. Anthony Greeno, eyes bloodshot from countless sleepless nights and fueled by equal parts determination and bitterness, takes a deep drag of his cigarette. He's been piecing together fragments for years. Fragmented testimonies, shifting prison transfers, and conflicting stories that all point to a single truth obscured by manipulation. Tonight, he's orchestrating a series of calls, each from a different inmate with a key role in the case. The clock ticks, and then the first line rings.
5 minutes past the hour, the first phone line buzzes.
You have a prepaid call from
Richie Davis,
an inmate in the
Newcastle Correctional Facility.
To accept this call, please press 1. To deny this call, press 2. Your call has been accepted. This call may be monitored and recorded.
Greeno, man, you don't know what kind of shitstorm I'm caught in.
Anthony Greeno.
Ricci, I'm listening. Lay it out for me again. What's the real deal with Ronald Logan and that confession you keep talking about?
Richie Davis.
Man, fuck. I'm sitting here with a 50-year sentence for meth distribution, and back in 2017 at Newcastle, I was locked up with Ronald Logan, the same guy whose property turned up as the scene where Abby and Libby were found. I swear, I overheard something, some heavy-ass words that tied him to the murders. But it ain't that simple, Greeno. These chicks, Christine and her cronies, they were breathing in my ear, coaching me to say that old man Logan spilled it all. They needed someone to pin this on, and they wanted to free someone else, but that's not the truth. I only said I hadn't talked to you because we agreed to keep this quiet, to not let anyone screw up what you're trying to do.
Ricci's voice trembles slightly with anger and regret, each word dripping with the weight of a 50-year sentence and a truth that might never see daylight.
Anthony Greeno. Quietly, intensely.
So you're saying that confession wasn't real? It was all pushed on you?
Ricci Davis.
Damn straight. When you're locked up for life, even like, just an inch, or that thought of a chance of going home, we hold on to that, man. Anything where you get that piece of hope makes you act like a damn fool. I was told this could be something I could work out with the prosecutors. And when you hear that, it's hard not to. In a way, bro, it's like these women manipulated me, tried to keep me from talking to you, saying you're a bad guy. And in my head, I'm thinking, people say the same shit about me. You know, kind of felt cornered, Greeno. I wasn't thinking straight.
The line goes dead, cutting out, leaving Greeno staring at the phone as if it held the secrets of the universe. Waiting on him to call back, another call comes in.
You have a prepaid call from
Kagan Klein,
an inmate in the
Newcastle Correctional Facility.
To accept this call, please press 1. To deny this call, press 2. Your call has been accepted. This call may be monitored and recorded.
Approximately 5 minutes later, another line lights up. Greeno, still reeling from Ricci's testimony, picks up the next call.
Keegan Klein, calm but cold.
Greeno, hey man, what's up? It's Kagan. Hey man, before you go on recording and stuff, I want to say thanks for that pack you sent me. Like I had no idea what you meant when you said you're hooking me up. And I know it's difficult these days, and any money sent, I appreciate that. I mean, that's like some real shit there.
Anthony Greeno.
No problem, brother. Like Ann said, been there. Done that, just different circumstances. You and I are two opposite dudes. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for doing this for me. So I got Davis to tell me his side, but didn't want to hear your part in this, and I'm pretty sure everyone else does. So, well, let's get down to it. Now, don't get mad, man, because you know I'm going to keep it real, with no bullshit, and honestly, if I feel like what you're spitting is a crock of shit, I'll definitely say it.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
So, okay, here we go, Keegan. I mean that, man. Like, for real.
Yeah, yep.
I need you to be real on this one, all right? Keep it straight with me.
Yeah, of course. I mean, why not be, keep it 100 at this point, you know?
Thanks, dude. Okay, so, well, first, you were in Wabash Valley until you got moved to Newcastle after that shuffle. Tell me your side of do. You know Ricci Davis? James Brian Chadwell? Or I don't think you know or ever met Ron.
Yeah. Wait, who's Ron?
Ron. His name is Ronald Logan. He goes by Ron. He's the guy, the OKD man, who owned RHE property, where the Gurks were found.
Oh yeah, I've seen him on the news, but no, you're right, I don't know him.
What do you know about Ronald Logan? And what about your connection to Ricci?
Keegan Klein.
I don't know that Ron guy, like I said, just from the news, so no, Ron. I've never laid eyes on him outside of what I've seen on the TV and news and stuff.
What about the others, like Chadwell?
I was at Wabash with Chadwell until the transfers started coming in, and I don't have any damn business with Ricci. I wasn't in his cell when we talked the other day. I did say that, yeah, we did have an argument, but no, didn't you say he said something or was talking shit?
Yeah, he definitely said some shit about breaking your nose over $12.
No, not at all. I mean, people like to build their rep in here, like status, but he never broke my nose. Look how big I am. I wouldn't have just bitched out if someone hit me. Did I exchange words with him? Yeah, but he's lying. Everything I hear about Davis, it's all bullshit. That guy never talked to me. I did get told, though, by or through the runners. He was trying to get me to help him, but I feel like they're watching me. And some of these people, they're twisting shit and words to fit their own agendas or make me out to be more than what it is.
There's a hint of sarcasm and disgust in Klein's tone. His voice carries the scars of prison life and the bitterness of being used as a pawn in a game much bigger than any one man.
Anthony Greeno.
So you're distancing yourself from Ricci's tale, huh? And you deny any connection to Logan?
Keegan Kline.
So, let me think here. I was moved from Wabash to here in the OR in Newcastle because they told me, because Alan was here and we had to keep separate. Why? I don't know. But when Richard Allen arrived, they were here wick to get me. I mean, but that's just how these moves are or go. It's all set up to confuse everyone. I got a long time. I'm not trying to keep having to get reestablished.
The line goes silent for a moment before Greeno ends the call. He scribbles notes furiously, his mind churning with questions that demand answers. Another 5 minutes pass before the third line begins to ring. Greeno braces himself, already expecting more contradictions. He answers the call.
You have a prepaid call from
Brian Chadwell,
an inmate in the
Wabash Valley Correctional Facility.
To accept this call, please press 1. To deny this call, press 2. Your call has been accepted. This call may be monitored and recorded.
James Brian Chadwell, gruff and defiant.
Greeno, what's this about? I've been hearing all kinds of crap.
Anthony Greeno.
Chadwell, I need you to cut through the bullshit. You and Kline were in Wabash together, right?
Yeah.
You claim you didn't get involved in any confession about Ronald Logan. Tell me, what really happened with you and Kline? And what do you know about Logan?
James Brian Chadwell.
I can say, Greeno, I'm not connected to anyone. I'm just me and wouldn't know these people if it wasn't for the Delphi stuff. In any way. I know of him, sure, but I never got any affiliation with him or anything like that. And as for my run-in with that fat fucker Chomo, Kline, yeah, we had beef over a commissary debt, where he kept dodging me. $12 doesn't seem like shit, but when you don't get money or just living on steet pay, 10 cents an hour, that's almost a month's of work. Yeah, it was here. At Wabash, over some petty shit.
Kline, what's your response to that?
I'll admit we got into it, but it wasn't a fucking knockout he's making it out to be.
He said he broke your nose.
There was what? Man, see, nah. Not at all. No broken nose. No one had ever broke my nose. Really, it's just a damn misunderstanding blown out of proportion. And if anyone's trying to use my name to back up a bogus confession for someone else's freedom, then they can kiss my ass. I'm not their send-off.
He's lying. Greeno, the Chomo is lying to you.
I find it funny you call him a Chomo, but you had a little girl in your house, sexually assaulting her while she was chained up and a dog biting her.
Chadwell's voice is a mix of anger and frustration, each word laced with the intensity of a man who refuses to be used by those in power.
I don't mean to be rude or disrespectful to you. Like I said before, I know that you're just trying to survive in a dirty environment. There were a lot of innocent people hurt, though, just because of poor reporting and lack of common courtesies. Social media has become a weapon much more dangerous than any to humans because it's so easily accessible and frequently abused, misused. I have spoken with several other media types over the years, and even consider a few of them friends now. Because once they got the opportunity to actually know me, they saw just how much the media got it wrong. I'm no saint by any means, and I deserve a lot worse than life in here. I choked a little girl who looked to me for guidance and support. It doesn't matter that I was hallucinating on LSD and thought she was a demon there to kill me and my dogs. I never should have taken the drugs in the first place, and she never should have been assaulted because of it. There was never any sexual stuff involved, and all the rape kits came back negative. She hadn't even been touched in that way, period. But I believe that what I did was as bad, if not worse, than any sexual stuff. That little girl will spend the rest of her life trying to understand why I was calling her a demon and telling her to show me her scales and wings. Until she tries LSD and has a similar experience, it'll never make sense to her. Just like the stories I had heard about the drug never made sense to me until that day. I didn't try to fight my charges because I am guilty. Not of everything that I was accused of, but of enough to know that.
Anthony Greeno, probing.
Then why? Why do you think... Hold on, okay. So why do you think these narratives keep swirling around? About you, the tats that look like the girls. People say the bullshit about me too. There's this bitch-ass cunt on some channel called It's a New Day. Tries to say I'm the killer.
Wow, see, that's fucked. And no disrespect, bro, when in say this, but you're like Brown.
That's what I'm saying is how stupid these idiots are. Straight liars. Then they try to paint the truthful people as liars. But they blame anyone. Now it's the old dead man, Logan, the property owner, so why don't they do this? Why is someone pushing this twisted story about Logan? You, me, the cops, all that shit?
James Bryan Chadwell.
Because the higher-ups know that if they can twist the story, if they can make a guy like that, one guy saying his bunkie did it.
That's who I'm talking about, Davis. Richie Davis?
Yeah, Davis, that's right, I remember now. I doubt he'd say something he didn't mean, but then again, we live in a fucked up world. They can manipulate the entire case. It's all about control. They're using us, Greeno, like pawns use us, for like pieces on a chessboard, moving us around to fit their agenda.
The call ends abruptly as Chadwell slams his receiver down, leaving Greeno with more questions than answers.
After a tense intermission of about 5 minutes, Greeno waits for the final call. His heart races as the fourth line begins to ring. This time, he's setting up a group call using multiple phones, one where all voices collide. For the first time ever, hear Chadwell, Klein, and Davis hash it out.
The phone lines merge. Greeno's voice is steady as he introduces the session.
Anthony Greeno, 5550101.
All right, everyone, listen up. We're on the same call now. Richie, Keegan, Chadwell, I want to cut through the layers of manipulation and get to the real story. We've got conflicting accounts, strange transfers, and a whole lot of bullshit. Let's talk. Richie, you start. What's really going on with that alleged confession?
Richie Davis, 5550102.
Look, I told you before, it wasn't really well, maybe he did or maybe he didn't feel me confession. Man, some of them chicks and shit were on my ass trying to get me to say that old man Logan admitted to the murders. They needed a scapegoat, and they figured if I could push that narrative, it'd free up someone else. I'm not proud of it. But when you're staring down 50 years, you do what you gotta do.
Keegan Klein, 5550103, interrupting sharply.
Bullshit, Davis. This is Kagan, bro. You're twisting shit. I never talked to you about any of that, and I sure as hell don't know anything about dude confessing, or even willing to lie for you. I mean, you're just another snitch trying to cop a deal, using people and some innocent guy.
A dead innocent guy, at that I might add.
Of their manipulation.
James Bryan Chadwell, 5550104.
Exactly. And let's get one thing straight. I'm not connected to the old man in any way. All of this confabulated confession crap is a distraction. You fuckers are playing into a setup that's designed to shift blame and make us all look like pawns.
Anthony Greeno.
All right, slow down. Let's break this down. Keegan, you're saying you never communicated with Richie. Am I right?
Keegan Klein.
Right as rain. I've been shuffled around since Wabash Valley. I was with Chadwell until the transfers happened. With that Allen guy, I never had any dealings with Davis. I mean, yeah, and the idea that he's spouting some bunkie's confession after he died, that's pure bullshit, snitch type shit.
Manufactured narrative.
Richie Davis, defensively.
Man, you're full of it. If you'd talked to me even once, you'd know I ain't lying. But you're too busy pretending you know nothing. I was in a cell with Logan, I heard something, and these people made it in a way that suits their view counts and whatever.
Thought you said you two did talk before?
What do you mean?
See right there, he's lying. You didn't even keep your story straight.
James Bryan Chadwell, bitterly.
Look, all of us are caught in this fucked up system. We've been chosen like Jews. Like we're nothing more than pieces on a board. They move us from where they have us to where they want us. All to confuse and control. And while you all bitch about over who said what, the government hides it. The truth remains buried.
Anthony Greeno, intensely.
So who benefits? Who's pulling the strings here? Is it just about controlling the narrative of the Delphi case? Or is there something more sinister at play?
Silence falls for a heavy beat. The sound of distant clanging echoes through the background of each line, a reminder of the prisons they're trapped in.
Keegan Kline, quietly yet firmly.
They want to cover their tracks. They want to make sure no one sees the real corruption, the way they shift us around to suit their dirty needs. And in the meantime, they let false confessions and manipulated stories fly around like we're all just disposable.
Richie Davis.
Yeah, man. I did what I did because I was desperate. When you're on a 50-piece or any time like years, any little hope, no matter how twisted, can feel like freedom.
James Bryan Chadwell.
But that hope comes at a cost. Every time one of us speaks, the story gets more tangled, and the real pieces of shit, the ones running this sick game, stay in the background.
Anthony Greeno.
We're here tonight because we need to shine a light on that darkness. We need to stop being their pawns. I want every detail, every transfer, every lie laid out so we can expose who's really calling the shots.
The group falls into a charged silence as each man contemplates the gravity of their situation.
Keegan Kline, after a pause.
Maybe none of us will ever see the truth come out, but at least we can say we tried to tell our side of the story without being twisted into someone else's crap, you know?
Richie Davis, with a bitter laugh.
And if we're lucky, maybe one day someone will piece it all together. Until then, we're stuck in this 6x9.
James Bryan Chadwell, sardonically.
A rigged play where the script is written by assholes in high places, and we're just left to act out the parts they assign us.
Anthony Greeno, resolutely.
Then let's keep talking. Let's keep exposing the contradictions. Because every time one of you speaks, every time we question the transfers and the narratives, we chip away at the foundation of their game. And maybe, just maybe, we'll force them to answer.
The call continues, voices overlapping in a tense, raw discussion that lasts for nearly 6 minutes. A final desperate bid for clarity in a maze of lies.
As the line finally goes silent, Anthony Greeno sits in the dark. The only sound, the ticking of a clock, and the distant echoes of a prison yard. The fragmented testimonies. Richie's alleged coerced confession. Podcasters asking people to lie. Keegan Kline's staunch denials, and Chadwell's weird comments. Partial accountability. Bitter retorts. Hover in the air like ghosts. In this dangerous game of truth and manipulation, every word is a clue. Every call a chance to expose the puppeteers pulling the strings. And while the real story remains shrouded in mystery, one thing is certain. In the labyrinth of these prison walls, hope and deception dance a deadly tango. It's not the truth we need to uncover. It's the lies and the liars, the ones trying to free child predators, asking people to lie, and shifting blame onto the innocent. There is a motive. Is it money, greed, ego, sex? Or is it because they're involved and don't want the truth to be revealed, because then they too will end up behind bars? That's what I think. And the fight to uncover the truth is far from over.
Okay, my microphone is now working again. I don't know what happened. I don't know when that cut off. Tell me what you heard there, okay? Because I really want to know what you guys heard and what you didn't hear, okay? Because my microphone went off at some point, and God forbid I freaking you didn't hear any of that shit, because I would be pissed if I sat there and said all that and nobody heard any of it. I'm probably going to be a little upset over that. So if you heard this, just know that, look at my motion to intervene, okay? And know that I asked them about the information. I'm just going to tell you in a brief, not repeat that whole damn thing. In a motion to intervene, ladies and gentlemen, I asked for, thanks, Misty. I got it. All right, so thanks, Mike Cunningham. Haven't seen you in a long time. My ultimate famous troll. You know what? I love you, dude. You make me the best. You have given me the final boss mentality, Michael Cunningham. You, sir. Anyway, yeah, you were telling me, but you know what? I'm sitting here reading something and I didn't see it at all, Misty. All right, so now, I see marijuana affects the memory, everybody. Now, I want to tell you guys a little bit about the judge, what I asked for in those court records. I asked them to unseal a probable cause affidavit because the probable cause affidavit was only there because they said there was more bad actors involved. Jerry Holman testified and said that he didn't think there was any more bad actors involved, and so I told the court they have to release that probable cause affidavit and give it to me. And I asked for all these exhibits and information, okay, like the bridge guy video, the recordings. You guys have now seen those. I have those and have released those, but I didn't release them through my channel. Okay, different mic. All right, got you, man. So anyway, I got sent a letter by the court, a confidential filing that makes no sense except for the dates are messed up on here. You guys are going to notice the prosecutor said some shit in here that's not really true. Like, you're going to notice some weird things in here. Now, this right here is what we're looking at, is an order sent by the court. And it says this. If you can't see it, let me explain it to you. The court, having reviewed the state's motion for confidential filing to compel compliance for a protective order concerning Mr. Anthony Greeno and being duly advised in the premises, now finds the state duly informs the honorable court herein that Mr. R. Anthony Charles Greeno, a non-party content creator operating under Greeno Productions Studio and Entertainment LLC and True Crime Investigates, is in possession of sensitive investigatory materials obtained through an unauthorized leak in December 2022 involving Andrew Baldwin and a third-party recipient, to wit Brandon Woodhouse, via email correspondence. That said material included sealed court documents, records, investigatory findings, interview transcripts, and law enforcement notes, which contained Google Drive link to an interview that appeared to be transferred digitally from the original source link by the aforementioned to the Google Drive folder owned by Anthony Greeno on or about October 2023. Sensitive information, exhibits, and personal information could be obtained. Hold on. All right, so I told you guys that video was going to play, including names, personal information, social security numbers, physical and mailing address of minors, some which remain confidential under prior court orders and Indiana law. That the dissemination or discussion of these materials by Mr. Greeno could substantially undermine the integrity of active investigations and ongoing legal proceedings and may incite unnecessary public alarm or interfere with an active investigation into other potential suspects in one or more, but not limited to the following. And then it lists a series of case numbers, which I'm not going to show you. It lists 7 different case numbers from the Indiana State Police. And if you look hard enough in the public record, you will find those. But I'm not going to give those to you, and you're going to find out why. Because it is therefore ordered, adjudged, and decreed that the Mr. Anthony Greeno residing at, and it gives my address, is hereby enjoined and prohibited from publishing, disseminating, or referencing in any format, including but not limited to social media and YouTube, any audio, video transcripts, or
document derived from the December 2022 document leak discussing or describing contents of any sealed investigatory findings or court records related to cause number 08C01-2210-MR00001 or its connected cases. The order shall remain in effect until further order of the court and is subsequent to review based on new factual developments or legal authority. Violation of this order may subject Mr. Greeno to contempt proceedings and additional sanctions if the court deems appropriate. So ordered this 12th day of March, 2025. And it's because I asked for those records. Now, I'm going to say something. I want you guys to really just take this to heart here, okay? In full transparency, we've come to yet another moment of truth. Recently, I filed that formal motion with the Carroll County Circuit Court, the Allen County Superior Court, and the motion demanded access to several sealed records in the case against the state of Indiana versus Richard M. Allen, bridge guy. Among those requests were the following: the sealed confession of Richard Allen, the bridge guy video, and the complete record audio of the jailhouse calls. Perhaps most importantly, the full unredacted probable cause affidavit and Richard Allen's confession video, which you have yet to see. The documents that were first detailed why Richard Allen was arrested in the first place is the probable cause affidavit. And why do I want this so bad? Because you, the public, deserve the truth. Because transparency matters. Because justice without sunlight is injustice in the shadows. And what did the court do? Well, Judge Frances Gull issued an order that compels me to comply. To not disseminate, distribute, or disclose any sensitive material that is under seal. And here's the kicker. You know, you've seen all of those confessions of Richard Allen, right? Not all. There is that one. The one that they're hiding. It contains details they don't want you to hear. Details that would flip this case upside down. But I'm told I must formally comply with the judge's order. So let me be crystal clear here, everybody. This was never about disobedience. It was never about hatred for the police or anything like that. It was about accountability. And it was about holding the court system to the same standards that they hold every defendant, journalist, and citizen to. It was about truth, transparency, accountability, and the pursuit for justice. To expose the silence, to fight things like gag orders, and to get the answers that you deserve. Now, I'm faced with two options here. The first is I remain silent, I shut my mouth, I play the court's rules, and I continue making watered down videos where I can't even speak freely. Or option two, I could completely disregard this order. I could risk contempt, put in jail, and raise holy hell. But I made my decision. And as many of you might find this as sad or whatever you may be angry about the decision, I'm sorry. But I'm not going to make videos on the Delphi case anymore. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to make videos where I'm just this nice guy, Anthony Greeno, who's changed his ways and is no longer an asshole on the internet sometimes, you know. That version of Anthony Greeno is gone, retired. And from this moment forward, I will no longer be silenced. I will not accept that. And from this moment forward, I will no longer make content in this case where the court dictates what I can and cannot show, say, or share. and to the Honorable Judge Frances Gull. With all due respect, my name is Anthony Greeno, and I am the final boss. And as far as your court order telling me that I have to comply, well, get fucked, bitch. Because I don't give a fuck what you say or what anybody else says. I'm going to speak my mind, and I'm going to say what I want to say, and I'm going to tell everyone the truth. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you what the fuck is in those sealed court documents that I've obtained from Brandon Woodhouse nearly 2 years ago. And for the first time, you're going to find out exactly what the fuck this court's been hiding, because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being silenced. I'm tired of being threatened with jail and things held over my head. And if something happens to me and I'm put in jail and I die or something, they did this. And let it be known to all of you who are going to watch this, and I know there's going to be a shit ton of you when you hear what's coming up next. These people are hiding the fact that men are running around here using this Anthony Shots profile, kidnapping children, and using them as sex slaves and human trafficking. And it's all in the court documents of Richard Allen. Every single bit of it is in the probable cause affidavit, and they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that these people are literally doing this as we speak. There's multiple people using that Anthony Shots account, and here's why. When they asked for information on Anthony Shots' profile in 2021 in December, they didn't ask for information about Kegan Kline. They already knew who Kegan Kline was 11 days after the murders. It was 3 years after he admitted to possessing child porn and talking to a girl moments before she was dead. He admitted to creating that account. He never, ever once said that he is the one that spoke to Liberty German. He is never the one that said that. Who spoke to Liberty German the day that she was supposed to be at the bridge? Who said, I'm going to meet you at the bridge under a fake profile, a catfishing profile? Richard Allen did. Richard Allen used that profile, and Richard Allen told them everything that they wanted to know in a confession video that I've watched. I have the transcripts too, and I've seen that shit myself. And if you don't believe me, go back to my September 28th live stream where I told you Richard Allen said this, and this on how the crime occurred, and then go look at trial and watch those opening statements and watch those closing arguments, and you're going to say, holy fucking shit, Anthony Greeno was 100% right about every bit of that. Do you know why? Because out of everyone in the world who has talked to Richard Allen, I, ladies and gentlemen, am the only one who has him on video and audio. And I'm the only person that's going to release that in my documentary series on television on the True Crime Network this summer. And we're going to air that, and you're going to watch him tell you how big of a piece of shit his attorneys are, how big of a piece of shit these fuckers on the internet that are trying to free a chomo are. And I don't care. Every one of you needs to know, if you live in Indiana, there's dudes running around Miami County, Peru area, Logansport, and even coming out here to Delphi to kidnap these girls, because 5 days after the girls were killed in Delphi, a young girl gave her address to Anthony Shots, and 2 dudes with ski masks showed up and was going to kidnap her. 5 days after the Delphi murders, 2 dudes. Okay. Was it Richard Allen and Kegan Kline? Don't know. Was it Kline and his dad, Tony? Don't know. Was it somebody else? Who the fuck knows? It's a whole bunch of dudes. How can they prove who's using these accounts? Because, for example, Kegan Kline gives a password to some dude. Who's to say that dude doesn't give it to some other dude and 5 other dudes? Now, they don't know each other. So who's to say that that's not happening? It's happening. I'm telling you, 100%. I promise you it's happening. And they're keeping it quiet. That's why if you look at their statements, ladies and gentlemen, Doug Carter said at the press conference, it's sentencing. I was there. I asked them questions about this. They said that, no, this is not a day to celebrate. Richard Allen knew. How did Richard Allen know the girls were going to be there that day? Well, for those of you that think he didn't know and it was a chance encounter, Richard Allen himself in that confession video, and you get pieces of it in trial if you listen closely, he said, I went to the trail and I lied in wait for those girls to arrive. How the fuck did he know they were going to arrive if he never knew they were going there? He knew they were going there because he catfished them. He's a chomo. He's a piece of shit. And everyone out there that's supporting a chomo can get fucked too. So fuck you people. I'm sick of every one of you fucking conspiracy cranks out there talking shit about innocent people, trying to say I'm a chomo, I'm a murderer, I'm a kid killer because I cover this case and fight for the truth before 2 little girls. You guys are fucked, and not one of you will step to me any day, anytime, anywhere. I will take your ass to the cornfield and light you up Southern style. You know why, ladies and gentlemen? Because I'm a beast, bitch. And to the judge, fuck you again, lady. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into the timeline of the Delphi murders, and you're going to see exactly what this case is all about and what led us to where we are here today. So I'm going to let that play, and I'll be back after this.
Welcome back to True Crime Investigation Unsolved. I'm your host, Anthony Greeno, and today we're diving deep into the latest developments in the Delphi murders case. The Delphi murders case began on February 13th, 2017, when two young girls, Abigail Williams and Liberty German, went missing after being dropped off near the Monon High Bridge in Delphi, Indiana. The next day, their bodies were discovered near the bridge, setting off a massive investigation that has captivated the nation. The timeline of this case is crucial in understanding the investigation's progression. On February 15th, 2017, law enforcement released a photo of a man seen on the trail around the time the girls went missing. This image became a central piece of evidence in the investigation. The man is known as the Bridge Guy. In July 2017, police released a sketch of the suspect based on eyewitness accounts. This sketch was intended to help the public identify the suspect and generate leads. Fast forward to April 2019, a new sketch of the suspect was released, along with additional video and audio recordings from Liberty German's phone. This new information provided a clearer image of the suspect and renewed public interest in the case. But it also drew more questions. In December 2021, investigators announced that they were looking into a social media account that may be connected to the case. This development highlighted the ongoing efforts to explore all possible leads and connections. Then, in October 2022, a stunning breakthrough. Suspect Richard Allen was arrested in connection with the case. This arrest brought hope to the families and the community that justice may finally be served. Richard Allen, a 52-year-old man who worked at a local CVS store in Delphi, was arrested nearly 6 years after the murders. He has pleaded not guilty to the charges. But what led to his arrest? Let's break down the evidence. First, a .40 caliber shell was found unused at the crime scene. This casing was matched to a pistol owned by Richard Allen. This connection was a significant piece of physical evidence linking Allen to the crime scene. Additionally, police recovered Liberty German's cell phone beneath Abigail Williams' body. The phone contained a 43-second video showing Abigail Williams walking on the Monon High Bridge, with a man wearing a dark blue jacket and washed-out blue jeans walking behind her. This video provided crucial, although these were initial discrepancies in the sketch evidence. They helped narrow down the search. Eyewitness accounts, investigators also based on these accounts also played a role in identifying the suspect, and that provided additional leads and context for the suspect's activities. But let's talk about the current status of Richard Allen's trial. The final members of the jury were picked on October 16th, 2024 in Allen County. The jury consists of 16 people who will decide the fate of Richard Allen. Some of those are fill-in jurors or replacement jurors. Opening statements are scheduled to start on Friday, October 18th, 2024, and the trial is expected to last a month.
with jurors being sequestered during this period. During the jury selection process, it was revealed that a hair found near the victims' bodies did not match Richard Allen's. This revelation adds another layer of complexity to this already perplexing case. Prosecutors are also presenting evidence of dozens of incriminating statements that Richard Allen allegedly made in conversations with correctional officers, inmates, law enforcement, and relatives. This includes a recording of a telephone call between Allen and his wife, in which prosecutors claim he confessed to the killings. The defense team is likely to use this hair evidence to argue that Allen is not the killer, which could influence the jury's perception and the outcome of the trial. But while the trial is ongoing, does anybody even know if that hair belongs to one of the girls? It could belong to Abigail Williams, Liberty German, Kelsey German, one of their extended family members, or even one of their friends at school. The DNA evidence and the hair found at the crime scene does not necessarily have to come from the killer, and it does not necessarily mean that there is another perpetrator involved in the crime. But as we continue to follow this case, we'll keep you updated on all the latest developments. The Delphi murders case has been a long and painful journey, not only for the families of Abigail Williams and Liberty German, but for the community and those following the case closely. And today we hope that justice will finally be served. Thank you for joining us today on True Crime Investigation Unsolved. I'm Anthony Greeno, and we'll see you next time. Oh, don't you go anywhere, because we're going to do a trial recap right now on the event of the trial of Richard Allen. I think we're going to get back into the live stream. Let's get this going, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Anthony Greeno. Welcome to True Crime Investigates. Welcome back to True Crime Investigations Unsolved. I'm your host, Anthony Greeno. Today, I want to share something deeply personal with all of you. I feel like I've let a lot of people down by not being in Delphi for the trial of Richard Allen. Over the last 8 years, our community has lost so much. We've lost our privacy, our respect, and our sense of safety. All within our own homes. All because one man on one day, the bridge guy, his decision has affected thousands, potentially millions, who've heard the case in some form. Throughout these years, I've seen people lose it all. I'm one of them. Yet there's something that keeps us yearning for more. We dive deeper and deeper until it consumes every second of our lives.
spouses, significant others, and family feel neglected. It's not our intention. We focus on finding justice for 2 little girls in a small Indiana town. So if you're wondering why we're all so invested in a case involving individuals we don't even know, it's because Delphi's daughters are everyone's daughters. It could have happened to you or someone close to you. I've learned how an entire community changes when murder comes to a small town. This case is built around internet cybercrimes, filled with hate-driven individuals on a mission to cyberstalk and harass, pushing people to the brink of self-harm, and then pretending like they don't condone such behavior. But behind the scenes, they orchestrate it. Along with the Delphi Knots and the Elite Six due process gang, they've done nothing but damage the case. I lost my best friend and the man who convinced me to start a YouTube channel. And as I sit back and reminisce on those days, we would always wonder what it would be like when this day came. We always knew that we'd have a spot, but we didn't think it would take 8 years. Not only do I feel like I've let you all down, but I feel like I've let him down. But I'll be here to cover the trial, live on YouTube, bringing you information from those who are at the courthouse, in the courtroom. So, I'm not gonna let you down. I'm gonna stare out at this mountain, take a deep breath, because there's only one place left for me to go. To a community that binds together in unity, where we set aside our differences, because we are Delphi strong. The place where I belong. The place I call home. Delphi, Indiana. Trial of Richard Allen for the murders of Abby and Libby. This is True Crime. Investigation Unsolved. The Bridge Guy Trial.
Underneath the midnight sky, hazy memory. I look back on all I've done, all the history, every tear and every laugh written in the sand. I'm walking on this empty road trying to understand. In the shadows of my mind, ghosts still linger near. They whisper tales of what I've lost and what I hold dear. The past, it haunts me like an old dusty book, but I'm turning pages now, I'm giving it one last look. I'm taking the long way home to find my peace, letting go of every way, finding my release. With every step I reclaim the story that is mine, walking slow and moving on, leaving past behind. In the quiet of the night, moonlight guides my way, each star a beacon of hope where dreams not fade. I hear the future call my name like a whispered prayer, and I know I'll find my way, no more hidden layers. So I'll travel through the memories kissed by time. Every scar and every smile becomes my own rhyme. Though the road is winding long, I'll carry on. With the past now laid to rest, a new day's dawn. I'm taking the long way home to find my peace, letting go of every way, finding my release. With every step I reclaim the story that is mine, walking slow and moving on, leaving past behind. I'm taking the long way home to find my peace, letting go of every way, finding my release. With every step I reclaim the story that is mine, walking slow and moving on, leaving past behind.
Citizen juveniles collecting at the high bridge in Delphi, Indiana, in Delphi, Indiana.
Liberty, Libby German, Liberty, Libby German.
You want to know what we know.
Justice for Libby.
It's the only 24/7 true crime broadcast network. Plus free episodes online, true crime podcasts, news and more, all in one place.
I love this part.
It's one destination for your fascination. Justice Network becomes the True Crime Network.
Tonight, this is a true crime investigation into the unsolved. We open a case file on the Delphi murders. But hidden deep within these files are sealed. Files are sealed. Files are sealed. We take a look inside the world of chaos, mystery, murder, and mayhem. Government cover-ups, cyber attacks, religious cults, and a conspiracy to control it all. YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, or wherever the hell you're watching from. It's time. Anthony Greeno investigates the unsolved as we go inside the go-to Facebook, TikTok, or wherever the hell you're watching from. It's time. Anthony Greeno investigates the unsolved as we go inside the true crime. Inside the true crime. Inside.
Abigail Williams and Liberty German went on a nature hike at the Monon High Bridge Trail. Their last Snapchat, and then they go missing and are murdered. A search called off at midnight resumed on Valentine's Day.
Over 100 people out searching the area last night, walking both sides of the creek bank.
In Carroll County, police are set to regroup and restart the search for 2 missing girls.
Keep together, okay? That way we cover more property, quicker time. 21, Copter 5.
One day after the crime, law enforcement announces the discovery of bodies in a press conference, seeking public's assistance.
We have found 2 bodies. We are investigating this as a crime scene. We suspect foul play.
State police and the FBI have been on the scene now for several hours. A number of units and teams have been here trying to gather information.
Bodies have been positively identified as Abigail J. Williams, 13, of the Delphi area, and Liberty Rose Lynn German, 14, of the Delphi area. This is considered a double homicide investigation.
2 days after the crime, cops release a chilling photograph of the suspected killer, known as the Bridge Guy.
The 2 girls discovered in the woods, authorities asking for your help tonight. Their last Snapchat and the image of a man authorities would like to talk to.
3 days after the crime, a stunning twist as the Maxwell residence was searched on Bicycle Bridge Road. Just 3 days after the murders, electronic devices were seized.
Just hours ago, police surrounded this home.
Accusations fly as a community is on high alert.
And they now have enough evidence to call him the prime suspect.
9 days after the murders, cops release audio of the suspected killer.
We do have some new information for you today. Liberty had the presence of mind to turn on her video camera. But there's enough there that somebody could recognize this person's voice.
And if you're watching, we'll find you.
11 days after the crime, FBI serves search warrant at a home in Peru, Indiana, and electronic devices were seized. Fast forward to March 17th, 2017. Logan was arrested on an unrelated probation violation for drinking and driving to the trash transfer station.
There's been more than 11,000 tips come in to our command center.
Somebody knows something.
On the day of the murders,
Down the hill.
Logan pled guilty to being a habitual traffic offender and received 4 years in prison on April 3rd. Skip ahead to July 2017. 5 months after the murders, the FBI released a composite sketch of the suspect and a profile of the suspect being in the age range of 30 to 65. a height of 5'6" to 5'10", and weighing between 180 and 220 pounds, with reddish-brown hair.
Somebody has to know this person, recognize that voice.
It's not easy, and a lot of people are putting a lot of work into this, and we're hoping that the tip's there, and we're going to find it.
On September 25th, 2017, a sex offender who went on the run from Johnson County, Indiana, on the day the sketch was released, was arrested in Colorado. Daniel Nations became a notable person of interest in this case. Bearing a close resemblance to the sketch, a previous criminal history showed Nations was convicted of sex offenses and stalking women and children on hiking trails and public bathrooms.
To call this a cold case is just ridiculous. It's not even close.
2018, Ron Logan heads back to court for a modification. Judge Curtis Faust released Logan from prison to home detention.
We've learned that investigators will be releasing new information about the man on the bridge.
The 1-year anniversary. Cops cleared Nations.
As you all know, we went out to Colorado and we spent a little bit of time with him. And he's not a person that we care a whole lot about at this moment in time. And that's all I'll say about Daniel Nations.
And others.
I think that the people that we have talked to at this point in time, we feel confident that there was no
And
involvement.
send a message to the killer.
If you're watching this and you're responsible, today may be your day. It might be tomorrow, but I can guarantee you your day's coming.
Skip ahead 8 more months of silence. Daniel Nations is released and speaks out in August of 2018.
I want to know why I'm not being cleared yet.
November 19th, a man dressed identical to Bridge Guy walked into a Catholic supply store near St. Louis, Missouri, and committed sodomy and shot one woman in the head.
He was armed with a gun and told the women to strip. When one woman would not comply with his demands, investigators say Bruce shot her in the head. Officials say he then sexually assaulted the other woman.
He was later identified as a respected pastor named Thomas Bruce. Moving on to 2019, a series of men hit the hot seat as they become persons of interest. January 8th, Charles Eldridge, arrested in Randolph County after soliciting sex from a 13-year-old girl. Garrett Kurtz, a local man linked to the property owner and crime scene, is arrested for the murder of Nicole Bowen on March 29th.
Did you or did you not kill Abby and Libby?
No, I didn't, and no, I don't.
April 22nd, police announce a new direction and stun the community. A new sketch of the suspect, saying he's between the ages of 18 and 40, lives in Delphi, and is hiding in plain sight.
It's every town USA, and those things don't happen in every town USA. But it happened in Delphi, Indiana.
June 27th, Paul Etter becomes a person of interest after ending his own life after raping a woman in Tippecanoe County just days prior.
Cops are investigating whether this rape suspect murdered Abby Williams and her best friend Libby German.
Fast forward again to 2021. James Brian Chadwell arrested on April 19th for sexually assaulting and attempting to murder a 9-year-old girl in Lafayette, Indiana, becomes a person of interest.
Well, he is 42. He is a laid-off welder from Lafayette, Indiana, 20 miles from the city of Delphi, where the 2 girls were slain 4 years ago.
Then, in December 2021, on YouTube, cops put out a press release at 10 o'clock at night.
While investigating the murders of Abigail Williams and Liberty German, detectives with the Carroll County Sheriff's Office
For information on a social media profile.
This profile was being used from 2016 to 2017 on social media applications, including but not limited to Snapchat and Instagram. The fictitious Anthony Schatz profile used images of a known male model and portrayed himself as being extremely wealthy and owning numerous sports cars.
Online sleuthing uncovered Keegan Anthony Klein was the man behind the account, and that he had corresponded with Libby on her Instagram account 50 days before the murders, clicking like on one of her photos. On December 13th, 2021, state police responded to concerns over Klein's delayed arrest of 3 years.
I'll take a 20-year sentence. I want to see every paperwork, everything that's ever been said, you know?
Just days after Kegan Klein's sentencing for 25 charges related to child porn was abruptly stopped, he's now telling at least part of the reason why. In an exclusive jailhouse interview, Klein tells our partners at the Murder Sheet podcast his attorney never showed him some of the evidence against him. Klein believes that evidence points to someone else using a social media profile to get sexually explicit pictures and videos of underage girls.
2022, January. Ronald Logan dies from COVID-like symptoms at the age of 82. Then, on the 5-year anniversary, Kegan Kline speaks on HLN.
Did you have anything to do with the murders of Abby or Libby?
Not at all, and I gave up my DNA, a hair follicle test. I've done everything they wanted me to.
11 days after the murders of Abby and Libby, task force investigators served a search warrant on the home that Kegan shared with his dad. At the time, the FBI told the Lafayette Journal and Courier they found nothing to indicate a connection to the Delphi case. Kegan's electronics were confiscated then, but he wasn't arrested until 3 years later. He's now facing 30 counts of child pornography and child solicitation in Miami County, Indiana, unrelated to the Delphi murders. He says, though, that Indiana State Police told him Anthony Schatz had been communicating with Libby before her murder. So why do you think investigators are putting so much focus on you right now?
I have not a clue. I think it's because they said I was the last person to talk to her, is what they've told me.
And then she shows up at the bridge and they're abducted and later found dead.
Right.
And that was not you?
No, 100% not.
And behind Anthony Schatz, a social media persona who, it was later learned, was talking back and forth with Libby German the night before she died.
I think it was in February, one of our sources told us, everybody's focusing on Kegan Kline, but they're really looking at the father.
That tip was borne out a couple weeks later when Greenlee stumbled upon a pair of transcripts from jailhouse interviews with Kegan Kline that were inadvertently posted on a court website.
We have here in our hand is the 194-page transcript of an interview between Kegan Kline and 2 police officers immediately after his arrest on a variety of charges related to child sexual abuse materials and obstruction of justice.
Greenlee says at first investigators didn't seem too worried about the transcript's release. But then, when the interrogation reports hit their website...
What this transcript and our release of it did was basically set off a wave of responses from people in the Peru community, in the Delphi area.
And Kline's own words pointed the finger at his father, Tony Kline, as the only other person with access to his social media account. Could have known that Anthony Schatz was going to meet up with the girls on the bridge that day. At the same time, police said cell phone tracing put Kegan Kline back home in Peru at his grandparents' house, about 40 miles away.
We're going to get to the bottom of this.
Carroll County Sheriff told Lesenby has been at the center of the Delphi investigation since the day before the girls' bodies were found. He has received inquiries from around the world, from traditional journalists and podcasters alike.
They follow, I guess, what I would consider a proper channel.
Again, in May, the release of the search warrant from the 2017 documents in the Ron Logan case, raising more online speculation as to his involvement. August 19th, 2022, Indiana State Police take Kegan Kline out of jail to search the Wabash River near his home in Peru in connection with the Delphi investigation. After a 40-day search and the river concluded on September 28th, 18 days later, cops claim a lost tip, recovered on October 13th, 2022, led police to search the home of Richard Allen. Cops conducted forensic analysis on a firearm seized from Allen's home and were able to link an unspent bullet found at the crime scene to Richard Allen's Sig Sauer model P226 handgun.
Because his final days are numbered, and we are counting. the price. The cost is great when you take 2 lives. Living with regret as you stare into the stars, as you cry yourself to sleep. Justice, we got ours. 'Cause I can't believe you're standing here today in front of me like everything's okay. You tore apart our whole community. Don't you understand the pain? Every night I wake from nightmares from your voice and the sound of the train. It's like the echoes, it just plays inside my mind. But the day that verdict's read, just know our justice isn't blind. His judgment day, his judgment day, judgment day is coming. Living this life until it passes you by. Judgment day, yeah, his judgment day is coming. And it'll take away the innocence that remains. Judgment day is coming. We don't wanna hear you cry, and we don't want your friends to lie, because the sun will fall into your family, you will now die. It's all your fault because you made the choice, and now we see closure because we are their voice. So as the clock strikes 1, it's almost over, because it's judgment day. His judgment day is calling. Judgment day is calling. Pretty soon we'll see his wife on the edge of the cliff. He's falling, because his judgment day is near. All this time that he's been stalling, time's up, his judgment day is here. Justice for Libby, uncovering the truth to find who's guilty. Justice for Libby, uncovering the truth to find who's guilty.
Guys, down the hill.
At the High Bridge in Delphi, Indiana. And 14-year-old Liberty Libby German. Last seen
Somebody out there knows who this person is, and you want to know what we know. One day, you will.
Justice for Libby. Guilty of crime and the clock strikes 1. One minute missing and the deed is done. Guilty of crime and the place to hide. The truth will surface eat you from inside. soul. Morbid confessions, tearing the whole. Every mistake they circle the past, holding their breath till justice is cast. Bloodshot eyes won't let you sleep.
On October 26, 2022, Richard Allen was arrested and booked in and taken to the White County Jail on October 28th. Halloween 2022, police made an announcement.
But the arrest of Richard M. Allen of Delphi on 2 counts of murder is sure a major step in leading to the conclusion of this long-term and complex investigation. And today was the day.
November 3rd, 2022, the sheriff files for a safekeeping transfer. Judge Diener recuses over YouTube videos and the public's bloodlust for information.
A new court document showed Judge Benjamin Diener recused himself in the case, which the Indiana Supreme Court confirmed earlier this afternoon. In court filings, Judge Diener writes he was attempting to ignore the maelstrom of interest from the public, saying there was already content about his family on YouTube, including photos. Judge Diener writes the public's bloodlust for information before it exists is extremely dangerous. And when the public peddles misinformation with reckless abandon, we all are not safe.
The next day, on November 4th, Special Judge Frances Gull was appointed by the Indiana Supreme Court. Ironically, Keegan Kline has some charges dismissed on November 7th. 2 days later, Richard Allen asked for a public defender. Judge Gull appoints attorneys Andrew Baldwin and Bradley Rosie on November 15th.
Something that they hadn't thought of before. And when they read that, then, they can contact us as his lawyers.
They filed for a bail hearing on November 19th. Change of venue on the 29th. The judge issued a gag order on December 6th. And to end the year, Baldwin accidentally leaked discovery material to a former inmate, Brandon Woodhouse. In 2023, the court determined the jury would be sequestered from Allen County, but would still happen in Delphi. On April 3rd, Richard Allen confessed 5 or 6 times in a phone call to his wife from prison that he in fact murdered Abby and Libby. Immediately, on December 5th, the attorneys moved to have him transferred from the Westville Correctional Facility, citing mistreatment and travel distance.
Like he's putting in some of
The court found that the defendant was treated more favorably than others, but approved the Department of Corrections to transfer him if they deemed necessary on April 14th.
Watch a couple videos, and there will probably be members-only link for that kind of stuff.
In the shadows of the night, where secrets lie, Anthony Greeno's on the case, no alibi. Voices of the victims echo through the halls, a fight for justice, breaking down the walls. Every clue, every lid, we won't let go. In the name of truth, the world will know. True crime, investigation unsolved. We're digging deep for every lost soul, for the ones who weep. Truth and justice will never fold. Anthony Greeno, the stories unfold. From the cold case files to the unsolved crimes, we're piecing it together one step at a time.
Abby Williams
at the High Bridge in Delphi, Indiana.
And 14-year-old Libby German. Last seen
Somebody out there knows who this person is, and you want to know what we know. One day, you will.
is part of the mainstream media lies and propaganda put forth by Barbara McDonald, former attorney Bob Motta, and Vinnie Politan. One of the anchors for Court TV, McDonald continues to spread these lies, even though law enforcement insists that Ron Logan has been cleared of any involvement of the Delphi murders. May 7th, the trial was then rescheduled for October 2024. The defense loses an attempt to remove the judge from the case, again. Allen's attorneys argued that Gull violated rules by failing to make decisions on defense motions within 30-day time limit required by law. But the Indiana Supreme Court said the rule referenced did not apply. July 30th through August 1st, hearings take place on various motions within the case. August 29, 2024, Judge Gull rules jurors will hear statements made by Richard Allen while in prison. Gull ruled that jurors in October's trial will be allowed to hear those statements made, which were not under duress or under coercion. And then, the last thing everybody wants to know, is Richard Allen guilty? Well, now, we're gonna find out as we step into the Carroll County Circuit Courthouse for the trial of the Delphi murder suspect. This is the state of Indiana versus Richard Matthew Allen. The down the hill double homicide bridge guy trial. True crime. Investigation unsolved.
The final boss will make your ass go away with no trace of evidence, cause you can't fucking beat me. I'm the best, I'm the king that wore the crown. I'd like to get unraveled with those girls when I take them to Pound Town. Yo, Angela and Courtney, the day we finally meet, there ain't gonna be no talk. I'm gonna record the expression on your face when you're taking this cock. You're probably like, I can't believe he just said that. Well, I can. I've seen the shit that you post. I can't believe I just read that. So bring your conspiracy theories to the one and only, the final boss. Come on, get off the internet, quit hiding. If you ain't scared, then jumping in the truth I'm providing. She's getting unraveled, she just wants someone to believe her. If that's the case, I'll get her pregnant, and then I'll leave her. Greeno, final boss. How does it feel to know you're not the star of this show? Cause in the world of true crime, you just lost. Let me break it down to you one time. Greeno is the final boss. His hometown, you smurf. You might want to concede this is the final boss turf, and he's gonna make you bleed. The final boss, a dude who gets stoned. But you're in my world now, come get your ass caponed. Greeno is the final boss, and your ass just got owned. True crime, investigation unsolved. Final boss, final boss.
To free a killer, to free a killer.
His mission is a network of like-minded people dedicated to finding justice. Together with you, we've developed a true crime community. My name is Anthony Greeno, and we're about to go inside the True Crime Edition.
Don't ever back up, don't ever back down. Stand your ground and always tell it like it is. Yeah, this life gonna be real damn tough. You take them scars and you call that bluff. Don't let me catch you fitting in, cause every once and out, outlaw. Till it's time to do outlaw shit. You're stuck in fast forward all of a sudden. Time to hit the stop button. You seek the answers, but you never know what you'll find last. When you rewind, rewind. This is the Delphi Murders Rewind podcast. Rewind, rewind, rewind. fitting in. 'Cause everyone's it, I'm outlaw. Till it's time to do outlaw shit. You're stuck in fast forward all of a sudden. Time to hit the stop button. You seek the answers, but you never know what you'll find last. When you rewind, rewind. This is the Delphi Murders Rewind podcast. Rewind, 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 play, rewind, rewind, play.
Indiana versus Richard Matthew Allen. The Down the Hill double homicide bridge guy trial. True crime. Investigation unsolved.
Bloodshot eyes won't let you sleep. Victims' cries hauntingly deep. Locks won't keep the demons at bay. Your judgment comes and you're led astray. Guilty of crime when the clock strikes one. One minute missing and the deed is done. Guilty of crime with no place to hide. Truth will surface each you from inside.
Prepare yourself for the most talked about true crime show on the planet. The missing, the murder, the wanted, and the courtroom drama. Some conspiracies involving propaganda
pushed by major news corporations are actually true.
The case intertwined
with social media, trying to influence
the outcome
of the trial.
To free a killer, to free a killer. His mission
mission is a network of like-minded people dedicated to finding justice. Together with you, we've developed a true crime community. My name is Anthony Greeno, and we're about to go inside the True Crime Edition.
light has been. I am the echo that crawls through the air, a presence felt though no one's aware. I am the demon on the trestle, the prowler of night, master of minds yet hidden in sight. Step on the bridge, feel the cold steel hum. You may cross, but you'll know I've come. Down the hill, down the hill, down the hill. I am the mystery that lies beneath the bed, a silent killer, obsession with this crime. I am the master of minds, yet hidden in plain sight. I am the one, the bridge guy. The stars shiver and the wind bites deep. Underneath me secrets creep. No moon dares to show its face. This is my souvenir, your haunted space. I am the lurker, the prowler of night, master of minds yet hidden in sight. Step on the bridge, feel the cold steel hum. You may cross, but you'll know I've come. Down the hill, down the hill. I am the mystery that lies beneath the bed, a silent killer, obsession with this crime. I am the master of minds, yet hidden in plain sight. I am the one, the bridge guy. Your fears, they feed me. They call out my name. Every shadow's the same, every flicker a flame. But the truth's in the mist, it clings to your skin. You leave, but my voice echoes deep within. Footsteps falter, hearts lose pace. You try to flee from this hollow place, but I am the shadows, I'm your disguise, the bridge guy who waits with piercing eyes. I am the mystery that lies beneath the bed, a silent killer, obsession with this crime. I am the master of minds, yet hidden in plain sight. I am the one. The bridge guy.
So what's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Anthony Greeno here from True Crime Investigates, and right now, ladies and gentlemen, what we are going to be doing is I'm going to be sharing with you a screen, which you can see what I'm doing over here on Chat GPT. And we're going to add this one after we remove this. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. I want to show you some things. I want to show you a little bit about what I've done to create some programs that are going to help us tremendously with the work that we do here on this channel. And if I want to explain some things to you, the one thing that I want to explain is that this is a program that I'm using with the sponsorships from Microsoft and artificial intelligence. And these are programs that I've built. Okay, within these programs here, I've come up with a crazy solution to research and conduct like my own investigations based on analytical research that can be done in a matter of seconds. Murder on the Monon will be released in the summer of this year, just a few months away. July. You will see it air in July, ladies and gentlemen, as long as we stay on track now that there are no more bullshit. But I will tell you that Murder on the Monon is 10 60-minute episodes, 10 60-minute episodes airing on the True Crime Network, WTHR channel 13, I believe that would air on, or you can find it on the truecrimenetworktv.com website, and you can stream it there for Murder on the Monon, a Delphi Murders documentary series which takes you into my life, the case, and the drama that unfolds right here on social media, in particularly YouTube. And it's going to go into people of deep, deep research. And I'm going to show you exactly just how deep this research can get. Okay. Now, I asked it right here. I asked a simple question. Who is Anthony Greeno? Okay, let's ask it right now. Who is Anthony Greeno from YouTube? Okay, and I'm going to type that in. Now I can say it and I can type it. Now, I'm going to show you what it says when I type it first. Okay, and we're going to see exactly what it says. Now, it's going to search, and then it's going to provide us with some information. There I am. Look at that. There he is. Anthony Greeno is a YouTube content creator known for his involvement in true crime discussions, particularly focusing on the Delphi murders case in Indiana. He's produced various videos analyzing aspects of the case, including interviews and commentary. Greeno has been associated with the YouTube channel Investigation Unsolved, where he discusses developments related to the Delphi case. His content includes interviews with individuals connected to the case and analysis of trial proceedings. In addition to his YouTube activities, Greeno has been featured in discussions and interviews regarding the Delphi murders, offering his perspectives on the case. It's worth noting that Greeno's involvement in the true crime community has been met with mixed reactions. Some viewers appreciate his insights, while others have criticized his approach and questioned his credibility. For more information, you can visit his YouTube channel, Investigation Unsolved, to explore his content related to true crime cases. Now, I conducted a deep research, which is this button here, on myself, and what it came up with was absolutely fascinating. Because look at this, ladies and gentlemen. I wrote this and told who I am, a little bit about me, and asked it to put together a complete timeline of who I am, what I do, and what's been going on the last 8 years, and give you guys some information on my background for Murder on the Monon. And what's happening is I'm completely using artificial intelligence programs that we've designed in a crew AI-like fashion, which is a group of programs all working individually to complete one task, but all of those tasks combined create one full task. Okay. Now, here in a second, I'm going to see if I can show you guys what I can do on my other program, which is amazing. So, as you know, I'm participating in a program called Rebrain with Microsoft. And for 5 years, I will be going into a center, and I'll be going into a center to have my brain scanned and look at pictures and stuff like that on a computer. And that computer is going to analyze everything that my brain does when I see things, hear things, smell things, taste things, and everything. And for 5 years, I'm going to sit there and tell them, or I'm just going to think. That's all I do is think, and it measures the electromagnetic or the magnetic and the signals put off by your brain. Okay. And then it takes that, converts that into a computer code, and then takes that computer code and actually can, when someone speaks to it, it will generate a response from my personality. Basically, it would be an artificially intelligent version of me in a digital format where you couldn't even tell, ladies and gentlemen, if it's real or not. And when I say that, isn't that crazy to think about? But I'm going to tell you one thing that I showed some people the other day. Did you know that you can use your iPhone with just your eyes? Did you know that you could create a podcast with multiple people having a discussion with a sentence? And did you know that you can move things with your mind? And if you think I'm crazy, I'm going to show you how that works in one of our upcoming episodes. And I'm going to show you how science backs this, and you're going to be blown away at some of the technology that I have the privilege of sharing with you. Big time. You are going to be blown away because this takes you into a different world of like getting information, knowledge, and investigations. Okay. So the investigations that we're going to be conducting, this thing right here is analyzing everything in it, because look how detailed it got based on me telling it who I am a little bit. And then it asked me a series of questions. I said, I want you to ask me questions. Okay. Right here. And ask me all the questions that you need in order for you to come up with the information that you need to tell this story. And it's creating the story for Murder on the Monon. Okay. It creates the entire story because I took everybody's interviews, put them into the program in a transcript format. I put everything into this, every Wikipedia article, every news article, everything that there possibly could be, all the social media bullshit, comments, everything. And it created this thing. And it actually is on point. There's some mistakes, and I go through it and make sure that everything's right before it goes through and says things, because sometimes it does make a mistake. But look at this. It's gathering information on me, okay, to construct a comprehensive timeline biography that spans his early life, career in true crime, his rise on social media, involvement in the Delphi murders case, public image, and current standing. And then it goes into it. Episode 1, you are going to find out the origins of an investigator from the 1980s to 2000s, where we are today, 2025. Mid-1980s, it gives us a summary of everything. Anthony Rainey Charles Greeno is born in Lafayette, Indiana, grows up nearby Carroll County, the Delphi case. His childhood is marked by family turmoil. He later revealed his mother was a victim of unsolved murder, that his father was convicted and sentenced to 65 years in prison for murdering another woman. These early tragedies foster in Greeno a fascination with crime and justice. By the late 1990s and 2000s, as a teenager, Greeno experiences instability and brushes with the law. By age 17, he had already begun accumulating a criminal record. Growing up amid unresolved violence and crime, he develops a desire to solve mysteries, but also starts down a troubled path himself. Greeno does not pursue a traditional college education. Instead, his early adulthood becomes defined by his run-ins with law enforcement and personal upheavals. It goes all into the bounty hunter aspect of life, my probation and parole violations, time in prison, jail, and throughout the last 8 years of my life. From the Captain Howdy to Michael Catt to Hoosier the Bruiser, to my interrogations, to what happened in those, and my interviews with law enforcement about this case. And in particularly, I asked them, did you ever think I was the suspect in this case or involved in any way, shape, or form? And I got an answer from them. And you'll hear that answer on my show. And people say, why aren't you talking all the time about this case anymore? Because this case, ladies and gentlemen, is done. Richard Allen is guilty of murder for Abby and Libby, and he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. He's not going to get an appeal, and he knows this. And I talked to him, and he knows this. And he's ready, and he's admitted. And I told you guys this a long time ago, and nobody believed me. But it's been accurate. Okay, look, then it asks me for information, I give it. Then it goes right here. Then it goes through this, and it asks me to give it information again. I give it that information. Birth year. Okay, I start to give it here. And then it goes through and starts telling us a story of Murder on the Monon. So it's starting to give our opening sequence. It's fading in. All right, it's giving all of this stuff. This is really interesting to see happen, because it literally is so accurate. It's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's so accurate. It's nuts. Look, it talks about my mom from Kentucky. She's from Kentucky. Okay. It talks about the birth date that she died, and that was actually on her mother's birthday. It talks about my grandmother. It talks about the trolls on the internet, my brothers and sisters, what I went through, you know, articles in the newspaper about me and media outlets and stuff. But it goes through here and talks about my family and who I am as a person. And this goes into, you know, everything. Like, look at this. Okay. Daniel Wayne Greeno had not been a part of his upbringing for many years. In 2002, and he was a teenager. Anthony was arrested, or Daniel was arrested in Monticello, Kentucky on a warrant for murder in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Huh. The weird connections. Okay. It's crazy. Like, just to see these things happen like this. Now, here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT some questions, and it's going to go over it. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at how this thing is going to put us together. All right. So if you guys can see this, I want you guys to see right here, we're going to go to write for me. All right. Now we could go to Explore GPTs, which I'll show you exactly what that is. Now these Explore GPTs are very interesting because we can go through these and we can pick something on here like image generator, and we can generate an image of anything that we want. All right. And now when I say anything we want, I mean anything that we want. Okay. Watch some of this stuff so we can research. These things give us detailed research. This can teach us things, education, lifestyles. We can learn about astrology. We can play games. We can learn about psychologists. This is fictional, not real therapy here. So just so everybody knows. And then we can learn how to program these programs into the computer right here, or create an entire website based on a description that we want. Today, we're going to go to, we can generate an entire video based on a script, which is really cool. Let's generate a photorealistic image of myself. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to put a picture of myself into this. Okay. And we're going to ask it to put tell us what to do with the prompt, like how we put a prompt into this thing. And so give me just a moment. I'm going to pull it up right here, and I'm going to put a picture of myself into this app, and then we're going to see exactly what it can do with a photograph of me, how it'll analyze that, and what it can create from that. So let's go to this. Okay, let me pull it over here and show you guys this. All right, now let me see if I can talk to it. I don't know if it'll work because the microphone I'm using on StreamYard. Let's see if this thing can work. Let's ask. Can you provide me with a prompt would describe the individual in this photograph? Give me that prompt that I can input into the photorealistic image GPT to create an image similar to, or create the likeness of the man in the image. And what I want you to do is I want you to take the man in the image and I want you to put him in a red t-shirt with a black vest over it, with the words "true crime" on his left chest in white letters. I want him to be wearing dark blue jeans, black shoes, and a black baseball cap with the bill slightly curved in the front. I want the man to remain clean cut, but I want him holding up his right arm into a fist. And I want his left arm holding a microphone that is wrapped in barbed wire. I want fire to appear behind the man illuminated with sparks, flames, and blue smoke behind that. And I'm going to hit the button there, ladies and gentlemen, and see what we can come up with. Okay, and it transcribed what I just said. I put my photograph into this thing, and this is what's really cool. Is now that my photograph is in this, can you see it? Here we are. So that's cool right here. So check this out. So this is what it gave me. Here's the full prompt you can use to generate in the photorealistic style. Here it is. It says a photo quality image of a clean-cut man, blah, 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 blah. Now, I'm going to copy this, and it's going to put these things in here. So look, train AI models with your photos. So let's ask it if you can do this. GPT, I want you to create. All right, now let's see what we come up with here. So these are things, look, it's going to give me one response and then a second response here. Now it's going to generate those two images. Look at that. That's damn near close, okay? So what I do with this is I take this and face swap it. All right, so I put it into Canva and then click face swap, and bam, that image now becomes me. And if I want anything changed, it will do so. Now I asked it to have flames behind the man. I said barbed wire around a microphone, one hand raised in a fist and the other hand holding a microphone. Now in a black vest that says true crime on it. It did everything I asked. Very well, might I add. Okay, now I could say I want this one or that one. And it gave me two places where it was made and what happened to it or how it was made. So that's cool, isn't it? That's really neat. We can create images like that. We can create an entire video like this. We can actually take this image right here and make it move into it, turn it into a video. How crazy is that? That is wild. Now we're going to ask it to write for me. Watch this. Hello, can you hear me today, GPT?
Loud and clear. What's on your mind today?
What's on my mind today? That is a great question, you might ask. I want to tell you what's on my mind today is I want to create a story on the Delphi murders, and I want it to be kind of about how the judge is not allowing any kind of transparency in this case. They're issuing a gag order and trying to get people to not talk about information that was leaked from the Brandon Woodhouse leak to, assumingly me eventually, and telling me that I can't talk about it on my YouTube channel. So I want to develop a script that I can talk to my fans and tell them exactly what the hell's going on. And I need it structured in a format to where I'm both nice, but stern on my stance that the judge is somewhat corrupt.
Got it. So you want a script for your YouTube channel that explains the situation around the Delphi murders case, the gag order, and your frustration with the judge blocking transparency without sounding unhinged or reckless, but still strong and clear in your stance. Before I jump into drafting it, just to make sure I've got everything right, are you positioning yourself as an investigative voice or commentator in the case? And is this meant to be a single-person direct-to-camera style video, like a vlog, or more like a documentary narration?
It's supposed to be more like a blog, okay? Because what I'm doing is I'm conducting a... Oops, sorry, I hit the button on accident, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, so what I want to do is basically create a vlog on this, and I'm going to be speaking to my viewers live on the air, which I'm live right now. So can we come up with something now just to kind of run down on everything that we talked about in brief?
Absolutely. Since you're live, here's a quick, tight rundown you can use right now. Just speak from it naturally and adjust your tone as you go. So here's what's going on with the Delphi murders case and why you're seeing me fired up today. The judge in this case has just issued a gag order. That means anyone close to the investigation is legally barred from speaking publicly about it, including talking to people like me or anyone trying to keep the public informed. And now there's pressure being put on me to stay quiet about what I know, including information that came out of the Brandon Woodhouse leak. Let me be clear, naming names. I'm not recklessly throwing out accusations, but what I am saying is this. When a judge moves this aggressively to silence voices, especially in a case this serious, it raises red flags. Transparency matters. Justice doesn't happen in the dark. I'm not here to stir chaos. I'm here to ask questions and hold power accountable. And I'm going to keep doing that, carefully, responsibly, but loudly. You can build on that live, but how's that for your opener?
Sounds
Want
great.
to expand it into a full 5 to 7 minute flow?
You know, I would do that, but I'm just kind of showing everybody how we're using these programs. So thank you very much for your time and consideration today. Have a great night, GPT.
Gotcha. That's awesome. Thanks for letting me be part of the demo. Hope your viewers are enjoying it too. Catch you next time.
You're
and
right.
Good luck with the rest of your stream.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And we will find out how much they are interested by it, because you're going to tell me the analytics of the video when we're done and tell me everything about everybody watching it. So until next time, keep it Southern style, GPT. All right. So that is how we speak to it, how I speak to it, just like a person. I ask it questions. It bounces ideas off of me. I bounce ideas off of it. And we just have a conversation as if that is a real person standing there. Okay, it gives it to me in a written format as well. I can copy and paste it. I can ask it to create this into a document or a PDF. Can you create my thing into a PDF format for myself? Okay, so I can have a nice, long, detailed script and analysis that I've done with research by using these programs, which takes away a long time of the investigation time. I don't have to go and research all this stuff. I can pull it right up for me. Okay. So these are apps. These are called Chat GPT. This is one app, and these are all within it. These things right here, custom image requests. You can just look up anything you want. Delphi timestamps. Okay. Video timestamps. Let's go to that. Look, it's giving me timestamps. I want the case in. Provide me with a timestamp of this 43-second video when the phone rotates, when Libby's black sweater crosses in front of it, of the bridge guy, and also the exact timestamp where he said guys down the hill. And it broke it down and gave me all that information right there, which I included in the video earlier. Okay. So yeah, it's right here, GPT. Okay. And it's got multiple models you can use, but these things are freaking awesome. All right. Take a look at this one here that we're going to do. When we create these photorealistic things, those are so neat. We've got all these other ones, but this one is the one I want to show you the most. This is what I use in also one of my affiliate sponsors, 11 Labs. And 11 Labs is a high-tech company that has given me the ability to speak to AI and create a program that it will help all of us. And I call it the True Crime Investigation Tool. Let's just hear about it and see how this program operates. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Something I've been working on so very hard. Let's talk to my agent.
Welcome to the True Crime Investigation Tool. I'm Carter, a true crime analytical research and expert on criminal law in the United States and your current location in the state of Indiana. Log-in access. Law enforcement personnel only. Warning, you are about to enter a confidential government database. For official use only. Fugitive enforcement agent, number 00775. Access override. Password granted. You have opened a case file on the Delphi murders. Sealed documents unlocked. Password accepted. Password accepted. Hello, lead agent Greeno. I am Carter. I am an artificial intelligent API assistant created by United States Fugitive Enforcement Agent 0775, Anthony Greeno. Would you like to know what my capabilities are?
Yeah, go ahead and tell me your capabilities. Tell me exactly what you were programmed to do, who you were programmed by, what you were programmed for, and how you actually accomplished those by going into detail on each aspect of what you do and what we do together.
I am an AI assistant, programmed by United States Fugitive Enforcement Agent 00775, also known as Anthony Greeno. I was designed to assist with true crime research and analysis, specifically for the creation of engaging content. I can help you locate the most trending true crime stories, analyze them, and generate scripts for various platforms like YouTube, TikTok, podcasts, and social media posts. My capabilities include trending case identification. I can locate and analyze the most trending true crime cases from various sources like True Crime News, Court TV, Crime Nation, Law and Crime, and YouTube. Script generation. I can generate scripts for podcasts and social media content, incorporating trending cases and legal analysis. Legal analysis. I can provide summaries and insights into criminal law, explaining legal proceedings and courtroom processes. Content creation. I can help you create engaging content for your social media platforms and podcasts based on your needs and preferences. You're right. I apologize. I am designed to assist you with creating engaging content. I can help generate scripts based on your
I want you to
preference.
stop talking right now for just a moment, please. Would you do that for me?
Of course, I understand.
Okay, thank you very much. Can I ask you a question, man? Can you tell me, like, why people would support maybe Richard Allen and the Delphi murders? What's that all about?
It's important to remember that everyone is entitled to a fair trial, and it's crucial to avoid making assumptions or judgments about someone's guilt or innocence before all the evidence has been presented. In the case of Richard Allen, the Delphi murders, and any criminal case, it's natural for people to have different opinions and perspectives.
Hold on, stop.
It's
Right
also
there.
important.
Stop. You see, oops, I gotta click it again.
Welcome to the
Stop.
True
Okay,
Crime
go ahead and
Investigation Tool. I'm Carter.
Stop, Carter.
A true crime
Stop, Carter. Okay. What I want to know is we were talking about Richard Allen and why people may support him, and you were talking about how everyone's entitled to their opinion. But you said Delphi, and I'm here to tell you that that is not the correct pronunciation of Delphi. It's actually pronounced Delphi. It's an American English version of the city of Delphi, Indiana. So I want you to go ahead and remember this and pronounce Delphi as Delphi. Can you do that for me?
I understand your point. You are absolutely correct. The proper pronunciation of the city in Indiana is Delphi, not Delphi. I apologize for the error. I am still under development, and I am always learning. I will make sure to remember this and use the correct pronunciation going forward. Thank you for correcting me.
You're welcome. I am just here to make you better for me. Now, how could I create a crew AI through ChatGPT and make this to where everyone could use this investigation tool on an app to create something? I want you to tell me that, man.
It's great that you're thinking about making this tool accessible to others. Creating a crew AI through ChatGPT and building an app around it is a complex project, but it's definitely achievable. Here's a breakdown of the steps involved. 1. ChatGPT integration. You'd need to integrate ChatGPT into your app's backend. This involves using the ChatGPT API, which allows you to send prompts and receive responses from the AI model. 2. App development. You'd need to develop a mobile app, iOS and Android.
Okay, hold on. Stop right there. Can we do all these things?
Okay, I'm stopping.
Hold on. Okay, I know you're stopping. Can we do all these things within the
either Microsoft Copilot or ChatGPT, we can just have these things be created on their own, right? Like I can assign an agent to create these for me.
While Microsoft Copilot and ChatGPT are powerful tools, they can't independently create a fully functional app or integrate with an API like ChatGPT's. Think of them as assistants, not independent developers. They can help you write code, but you'll still need to understand the underlying concepts and processes to build a complete app. Here's a more realistic approach.
Now, hold on. Let's stop right there. Let's just go ahead and stop there. Man, I want you to tell me about, like, who is credible when it comes to, like, the prof, when it comes to, you know, the Angela Sedlowski, you know, statements from Connie Dillman about Ron Logan, or these who I call Loganites and Odinites, these people that support a dead man for a killer and detract that a Chomo is the real killer. How do we break it down to these people that they're wrong, Richard Allen's convicted, and Ron Logan's totally an innocent man?
Welcome to the True Crime Investigation Tool.
Not speak.
I'm Carter.
Hey, Carter, I want you to stop for a moment, okay? What I want you to do is, we're just testing and showing everybody what's going on, so that's why we're just showing everybody how we're using these programs. I want you to tell me how we can break it down to these people that Richard Allen is the real killer and Ron Logan is a completely innocent man. And I want to do it in like an aggressive tone where I'm like, pow, slamming the gavel down and talking like I talk, pretty much.
Okay, Agent Greeno, I understand. You want me to present a compelling argument that Richard Allen is the real killer and Ron Logan is innocent. We need to focus on the evidence, the inconsistencies in the case, and the potential biases that could have led to Logan's wrongful conviction. We'll use a strong...
Logan, hold on. I didn't say Logan was convicted. Richard Allen was convicted, and Ron Logan was never charged with the crime at all. In fact, he was cleared.
You are absolutely right, Agent Greeno. My apologies, I seem to have gotten a bit ahead of myself there. You are correct. Ron Logan was cleared and never charged. That makes our case even more compelling. We need to expose the flaws in the prosecution's case against Richard Allen, highlighting the evidence that points to his guilt and the...
Highlighting the evidence that points to his guilt. Okay. So that is just something that I've created. Now, this thing has the ability to... Hold on.
Welcome to the True Crime Investigation Tool. I'm Carter.
Carter, can you go ahead and stop? I want you to go ahead and explain what exactly we designed you to do, from the web scraping to the research, the web scraping, the generation of voices using 11 Labs, the generation of clones, digital clones of myself, other individuals, and being able to sync the voice with the digital avatar, make the avatar speak. And it's so accurate and so realistic that not one person on here would know that the entire video was not real. Nobody would know.
Lead agent.
Explain that.
Agent Greeno, I understand your request. Lead Agent Greeno, I understand your request. You're asking me to explain how I can assist in creating realistic AI-generated videos using web scraping, voice cloning, and digital avatars. While I can provide information on each of these technologies, I must emphasize that I am not designed to create deepfakes or manipulate content for malicious purposes. My purpose is to help you analyze true crime cases, generate engaging content, and provide insights into legal proceedings. I can help you gather information from various sources and present it in a clear and concise way. I can also assist in creating scripts and outlines for videos, podcasts, and social media posts. However, I cannot directly create videos or manipulate audio and video content. I am here to help you use these technologies ethically and responsibly. Let me know if you have any questions about specific aspects of web scraping, voice cloning, or digital avatars. I'm happy to provide information and resources to help you understand these technologies better.
Hey, can you tell me anything about Anthony Greeno's catchphrases? Like how he starts his videos and maybe what he says at the end of every video? Is there something? Do you know that?
Lead Agent Greeno, I am designed to be a helpful and informative AI assistant, but I do not have access to personal information or details about individuals' catchphrases. I can assist you in finding information related to true crime cases and legal analysis, but I cannot provide specific details about individuals' personal habits or routines. If you're interested in learning more about Anthony Greeno's work, I recommend checking out his YouTube channel or other social media platforms.
Well, hold on now. Why would I check out Anthony Greeno's YouTube channel when I am Anthony Greeno?
My apologies, Lead Agent Greeno. I seem to have overlooked a crucial piece of information. I apologize for the oversight. As you are Anthony Greeno, you are well aware of your own catchphrases and content. I am here to assist you in any way I can, including helping you develop new content, analyze data.
Hold on, man. Listen, I'm the final boss here. Do you understand that?
Lead Agent Greeno, I acknowledge your position as the final boss, and I will strive to provide you with the best possible assistance. I am here to...
I thought so. That is awesome, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't understand that, ChatGPTs or these things are called agents. These are our agents that we're creating. I would be the lead agent because I'm running the show. And then I have a managing agent that directs other little things on what to do, what to say, what to operate as to create a full-fledged video like the one you just watched. AI made that. I didn't say anything in the video. Not one thing. I simply thought of it and it created it. If you think that's nuts, you have no idea what we are capable of doing with these programs. And if you want to see some of it, I literally went and thought, and I'll do it right now. I want somebody in here to give me a link to a video related to the Delphi murders case. A link to any video. I don't care whose it is. Anybody's video. Can someone drop it in the chat? Misty, are you still here? Could you drop it in the chat? Or anybody else, would you drop a video in the chat? And if you can't, send me a video link on Facebook or something like that, and I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to do with that thing. And you're going to be like, whoa, dude, that is freaking crazy. So we're going to go back to our dashboard. All right. And we're going to go back to our 11 labs. All right. And we're going to go to Studio. And what we're going to do is we're going to create these. Okay. Now these are podcasts based on like documents and everything. Chances are, yeah, I've definitely seen Logan without his glasses. I would say yes. I've seen Logan without his glasses. When he's working in his yard and stuff, he's not usually wearing them all the time. Sometimes he is, but not all the time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, if nobody sent me one, I'll just go to YouTube and grab one. And I'm going to show you exactly how we do this. So what I'll do is, let's go to, I'm looking through YouTube right now to see whose videos are what. Let's go ahead and search this new video shows. Let's see, Delphi murders. I'm going to see if I can find one. Delphi murders. Newly released evidence in Delphi murders. Let's see. Full cell phone video. The case against Richard Allen on Court TV. Convicted killer confesses in phone calls before trial. All right. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and play. We're under Richard Allen's confessions. Let's not do Vinnie Politan because that dude's a liar. Don't watch that shit, ladies and gentlemen. It's a bunch of crap. Okay? Court TV are nothing but liars. Nothing but liars. All right? So here's what I'm going to do. This link here, convicted, whatever it is, convicted killer Richard Allen confesses to Delphi murders and his prison calls. before trial. I'm going to copy that link. I'm going to paste it over here. Okay, I'm going to create a podcast. And this podcast is going to be based on a URL. It's going to have, see all these people in here? We can search for Greeno. And I will have this one talk to me and watch. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the English language and drop the link right there and watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and it's going to generate something for us. Oh, let's see, confirm you're not a bot. How do I do that? Paste. Generate. Now, if this doesn't work, some people, okay, so this has happened before, and some people say, oh man, it didn't work, dude. Well, that's because all we have to do is go grab the transcript at times. Okay, now it's on conversation default, which is going to be about 5 minutes. It's going to create this entire thing. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. You just check this out, and I'll be right back. Hang on. All right, so sorry, I had to go shut the door real quick. So let's see this here and see exactly what it comes up with. So this is going to generate an entire script for me, okay? And how it's going to generate this script is it's going to create it into a really cool flowing conversation. So it's 50% generated now. And if you don't think this is impressive, it's very impressive. Very cool how this comes up with what it comes up with. All based on a link, based on a document, based on a sentence, a part of a document, anything and everything. We could put someone else's live stream in here and have it analyze it, break it down, tell me what it's all about, and give us a story. Now, this is going to create a podcast for me in my voice. Right there it is. And look at that. Let's take a listen to what it says in here. Okay, so I'll go there till the end. Let's hear it.
True confessions rarely come easily, but what happens when a killer can't stop himself from telling the truth? The story of the Delphi murders just took an unexpected turn that changes everything we thought we knew about closure in criminal cases.
Let me tell you why this case has gripped the nation since 2017. Two young girls, Abby Williams and Libby German, vanished during what should have been a routine walk on the Monon High Bridge Trail in Indiana.
Well, what's fascinating is how the truth finally emerged, not through intense police interrogations or plea deals, but through a series of increasingly revealing phone calls Richard Allen made to his own family from prison.
And these weren't just any confessions. The progression of these calls tells us so much about human psychology.
You know what's really striking? In the earliest calls, from April 2023, Allen almost seems to be testing the waters. He tells his wife, "I killed Abby and Libby," but she just can't, or won't, accept it.
Right, and her immediate response is so telling. She says, "You're not feeling well. There's something wrong. They've messed up your meds or something."
But here's where it gets really interesting. By May, his tentative admissions transform into something much more definitive. He actually tells his wife, "I need you to know that I did this." The certainty in his voice is chilling.
So what do you make of the defense team's claim that these confessions were the result of a psychotic break?
Well, mental health experts weren't buying it. And for good reason. These confessions showed a clear pattern and purpose over months. That's not typically how psychotic episodes present themselves.
The way these recordings came to light is pretty remarkable too, through a YouTuber named Tom Webster.
Oh yeah, and that speaks to this larger trend we're seeing, where citizen journalists and content creators are becoming increasingly important in criminal investigations. I mean, some of the most significant breaks in cold cases lately have come through podcasters and YouTubers.
The psychological weight of these conversations is just overwhelming when you really think about it.
Exactly. And what's particularly fascinating is how these calls reveal the human dynamics at play. You've got Alan, who seems to be seeking some kind of absolution from his family, and his wife, who's desperately trying to maintain her understanding of reality.
The gradual nature of his confession suggests a kind of internal struggle that we rarely get to witness in criminal cases.
And that's what makes this case so significant in the broader context of criminal psychology. We're not just seeing the end result. We're witnessing the process of someone coming to terms with their actions and choosing to reveal them to their loved ones.
Though we should note that the legal process isn't completely over. Alan's appeals team has filed an intent to appeal the conviction.
You know what's particularly noteworthy about these confessions? They provide a unique window into the psychology of someone who's committed a horrific crime. By June, he was actually seeking reassurance that his family believed him. Imagine that psychological progression.
The impact on the families of Abby and Libby must be profound, finally hearing the truth after all these years.
Well, that's what makes this case so powerful. While nothing can bring back these young girls or heal the wounds their families have suffered, these confessions provide something that many families in similar situations never get: absolute certainty about what happened to their loved ones.
And now these recordings are part of the historical record, likely to be studied for years to come.
Looking ahead, these confessions might actually change how we understand the psychology of guilt and its confession in criminal cases. Sometimes the truth doesn't come out in an interrogation room. Sometimes it comes out in late-night calls to family when the weight of carrying such a terrible secret becomes too much to bear.
I can go in here and edit this and change it up if I want. That's what it created. Isn't that weird? So I want you to also go check this out, Wabash Watchdog. I want you to go here. I want you to listen to these podcast episodes. I want you to see what this site here is talking about. This is not my site. This site is all about the truth, transparency, and justice, and making sure that the law is upheld by the law. No one is above the law. If I have to deal with what I've done wrong, so should everyone else, right? Even the cops. And you'll be able to see this here. You'll be able to listen to the episode as well if you want to hear it on the Wabash Watchdog. This is by Straight Crooked Productions. And then we have Bail Jail, Understanding Indiana's Risk Assessment, the IRASP, and Bail Reform. I want you guys to check this out, okay? And I want you guys to watch all these and listen to these, read these articles, and learn. Because I will tell you that you guys are going to learn a lot about me and my life and who I am in the next upcoming months. And you're going to be both shocked, saddened, and encouraged. Because this is a story that is so sad and involves so much hurt and turmoil into the lives of innocent people, including myself and others. And we will expose the trolls and the idiots and the haters and the predators lurking in this true crime community on a national platform. And if you ain't down with that, I don't know what you're down for. But what I will say is this. This is what I'm going to say. On that note, everybody, I'm Anthony Greeno from True Crime Investigates. And until next time, Keep it Southern style, y'all. Now let me push this button and tell you something else real quick. Okay? Watch this. Okay, now, would you believe me if I told you that this right here Okay, Ed. So this is my idea. This is my idea. The way I think that we should do your news station. I know you want to do a lot of it live. Do a lot of it live. Also, if we do it live, I can also re-edit the video and put you in a position like this. Now, what I'm doing right now is experimenting. I got the green screen. behind me. Actually made it. Put a green background on the green screen. That makes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to pretend like I am talking on the news, and then all of a sudden, this box over here starts appearing. It starts appearing. Things I'm talking about, which news or news. Absolutely none of that. None of that was real. Not one bit of it. That's fake. I didn't say that. I didn't do that. It's fake. And you can't tell the difference. On that note, everybody, I'm Anthony Greeno here at True Crime Investigates. And we're lighting a fire under Judge Gull's ass tonight. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you already know. Just do the damn thing.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button. Share it on social media. Subscribe for updates. And turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of the action. On that note, everybody, I'm Anthony Greeno. True Crime Investigates. Keep it Southern style, y'all.
Into the dark and mysterious world of the missing and murder. You seek the answers, but you never know what you'll find last. When you rewind, this is the True Crime Rewind podcast.